play, and that takes work, and we work hard. We do it right in practice. Can't explain it in the game, but we definitely, as coaches and as players, got to look ourselves in the mirror, and we just need to work on the Bucs. Whatever Carolina does, they do. We got to work on the Bucs and stay working on the Bucs, and we got to figure that part out.
So we got to work on the Bucs. We got to figure out our stuff. We got to figure that out. That's what Todd Bowles has to say. Do you think this team can figure it out? That's the question of the night. Of course, your last show of 2025. No show on Wednesday night for New Year's Eve. I'll be working. I want you to enjoy that with your family. Also tonight, give me your New Year's resolution, sports related, whatever you want to put out there. Again, phone lines are open. 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. So without further ado, let's go out to my co-host, Mr. Harry the Greek. Professional handicapper extraordinaire, and I'm going to give him some credit because at the beginning of the week, as we were talking, he said he liked the Atlanta Falcons early in this game, not to say the Falcons would win outright. And by the way, they're up 14-0. It doesn't necessarily mean the game is over. The Rams have an offense unlike the Bucs lately. So let's go out to Mr. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire, as all eyes are on tonight. Monday Night Football, as crazy as this sounds, if Atlanta wins out, no matter what happens on Saturday, the Panthers would earn the tiebreaker. They would win the NFC South. So Bucs fans tonight, once again, depending on another team that they hate, would be the Rams defeating the filthy Falcons. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television on a Monday that is disappointing with, once again, no win against the Miami Dolphins. Your thoughts?
Peter, how the hell are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, buddy. Your thoughts on Todd Bowles and those comments after the game, and your thoughts?
I will give you all my thoughts. Let's get our guest on here because I can't wait to talk to him. It's been way too long.
I don't know why he stays away from us. We need to invite him on the show more because, first, he's played in the NFL. He always has great analysis. He's a content creator. He's all about the Bucs. He's all about the National Football League. He's always welcome on the evolution of Sports Talk Television.
And you know what?
Yes.
I talked to him a little while ago, and he likes my boy. He likes my boy Caleb Williams because he had to eat some crow. Anyway, I'm going to further ado. I want to go ahead and bring him in. We're going to add Mr.
Big Game James Cannida. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television, my friend, here on a Monday night, the last show of 2025. How you doing, my friend? Long time no see.
Real long time. I'm great, guys. Thanks for having me on because I've just been itching and scratching my head, needing to vent just a little bit.
Well, listen, you always have that opportunity on this show. Anytime you want to offer some analysis, we'll get a segment for you. But, I mean, it's all about defense with these Bucs fans right now, and that falls on Todd Bowles. Is that the biggest problem right now with this
I'd like to know, do you fire him or no? I want to get right to the juicy. What do you say? I don't say you fire him.
Firing does nothing right now. At this point, if a change was going to be made, it should have been done weeks ago. And I think everyone drank a little bit of the juice early on. You start out 6-2, things are looking good. You go into a little bit of a slump, but no one, I know me personally, I can't say no one. I never thought I was going to see a slide happen and a collapse happen the way it did. But honestly, even in the games we won, the defense still wasn't really hitting on all cylinders. So that should have been the first red flag that went up the way it did. I was in town for the Jets game. And the way that went down, the way that happened, and it was still early enough in the year where he's like, hey, you know what? Just good things are happening to us. We know how to execute. We know how to finish. And then later on, as the season went on, that wasn't the case at all. We weren't finishing games. Hell, sometimes we were coming in, didn't even look like we were prepared to play. So you have to ask yourself, what are we doing during the week to get ourselves ready to go out and take the field? And I've heard there's been a lot of rumblings in the locker room with guys going at each other and a lack of faith in the leadership that's there in the building.
Well, I mean, a lot of people would say that. I mean, do you? I mean, Gerald McCoy, he was very defensive of Todd Bowles, coming after fans, saying it's Todd Bowles. I love, this fan base, but it's always about the coach. And I get it. He's the captain of the ship. I get it. He's also the defensive coordinator, but this is also a players' league. You know this all too well. Where do you put most of the blame? Do you put the blame on the coaching? Do you put the blame on the defense? Do you put the blame on the fact that you have so many injuries? And with that being said, what do you see from this defense, and how disappointed are you being a defensive lineman and not seeing that consistent pass rush from this line this year?
I mean, it's a little bit of everything. I think everyone, and because early on, the 1 game, 2 game, when Todd Bowles came out and said, well, players have to play and we're putting them in a position to make plays, they're not doing their job. You look at some of the game film, there's some miscommunication, there's some blown assignment. So that does fall on players if you prep it. But then sometimes it seems like there's a lack of the proper use of personnel for what you do have. Injuries is a part of the game. It happens amongst most teams. It just seems like Tampa's had the worst luck in the last 2 seasons when it comes to keeping guys healthy and keeping guys on the field. That does happen. You hate to see it happen. But there's been no pass rush consistency with this team at all this entire year. And even last year, I said it a bunch of different times, when you have to rely so heavily on bringing the blitz and extra pressure to put pressure on the quarterback, you're not going to win in this league. Quarterbacks are too good. The receivers are too good. Your DBs can't cover that long. And then, Tyke Smith coming on to be a big part and then going out when he does. And it's just like you said, the inconsistency of not having guys on the field at the same time is really starting to weigh on the Buccaneers defense in a whole. And it's tough to look at sometimes, but there's no pass rush at all. I mean, it's hard to watch. And you go out, you think, okay, cool, we get Hassan Reddick on a 1-year deal, this is going to be good for us. And then nothing at all. And at the same time, you can't fault Jason Light at the time for signing him, because what he did a couple of years prior before going to the shit show in New York that he really didn't want to be a part of, you thought that, you might get something a little bit better like he was in Philly and not in New York. And lo and behold, we got duped on that one.
James, I've got to chime in here for a second. And again, bring us to a 3-shot, please.
Okay.
Because I want to talk to him. James, listen, I'm never going to be disrespectful, man. You played one level higher than I ever played. Okay. What he did in Philadelphia, I understand it's a shit show. Okay. He didn't want to be in Philadelphia. This seems to be an ongoing problem. But let's talk about the elephant that's in the room. You play defense. Why can't they contain running backs to the inside? At some point, I've got to honestly say, I think it's a personnel issue, because the man didn't go stupid as a defensive coordinator. He's a genius when it comes to that. But I could see 1 week or 2 weeks when you spread them out 4 or 5 weeks apart. But for 8 consecutive weeks, James, you cannot contain a running back to the inside. Forget about the pass rush. We've known that's been a glaring issue for the past 2 years. But there's no reason, none, that you cannot contain a running back to the inside, and you allow them time and time and time again to let them bounce. It don't make a difference if it's over the right tackle. It don't make a difference if it's going over the left tackle. They cannot contain anybody, and I want to hear exactly why this is happening.
Well, you watch it and see they haven't been able to set the edge at all here. And you're right. You can come up, you got Vita Vea in the middle. Guys know that, teams know that scheme. Again, though, when you are relying a lot on stunts and twist and movement, you might bring your outside guy in, bring a linebacker on the outside. He's supposed to be able to field, contain that, and make that tackle on the edge. But he's low coming in with an inside shoulder, not keeping the outside arm free. And next thing you know, it's home run downhill, to where we've made bad teams look beyond good in these past games. Yeah. So you're right. That many weeks in a row, did Todd Bowles forget what it takes for defense to work? He didn't forget, but at some point in time, with the people you have on your roster, and let's just lo and behold, we know the middle of the NFL season, there's not a lot to pick from to go and make changes of guys that's not already in that building to come in and do a job that the people you have on your team's not doing. So there's not a lot they can really go do and get. But at some point in time, there was no mixing, no changing of anything for the right people to be in the scheme to make the plays that you think they needed to make. And it's totally frustrating when you play a position. Granted, the defense is a little bit different from what I played under Monty Kiffin. It's still the same principle, just a matter of where you have who lined up where and what position is now going to still fill the A, B, C, or even D gap, depends on if there's a tight end in the game or not, right? Yeah. So there's a lot of misplays, a lot of miscommunication. And the thing that gets me the most, if you ever see the guys on the sideline, there's a blank look and there's a lot of bickering back and forth. Yep. So somewhere through the whole thing, it's getting lost in translation of who's doing what, or guys don't know their assignments.
Yeah, I go ahead, Peter, but because he just said something I wanted to follow up with, but please go ahead.
No, I mean, it goes back to what he said about guys don't know their assignments. I think that's why the fan base is so, they want to get Todd Bowles fired, because we've seen this in the past with this defense, missing assignments, miscommunication. Is that on coaching? Can that change in a week against the Panthers, because this is a big game, or are we going to have the same thing? I mean, and I get it, it's injuries, but you got guys that are not doing the right thing. They're not in the right position. You know this all too well. Being a part of Monty Kiffin's defense, it was all about accountability. It was all about responsibility. It was all about being in the right place at the right time, doing your job before Bill Belichick coined that phrase. That's why it's one of the greatest defense of all time, if not the greatest defense of all time, because everybody had to do their job. You couldn't go out there. You had to stay home. You had to play your position. And if one detail was off, big game James, then you would pay the price for it. And this defense is not good enough with the talent they have. Even that defense back then paid the price sometimes, not all the time. This defense is paying the price all the time because, again, they're not doing their job. They're not in the right position. So, again, is this on the players or is this on coaching? And do the fans have a right to be upset with Todd Bowles? And once again, maybe the message not getting across to the defensive players, in your opinion?
Harry, do you want to finish the follow up on that, and then I'll get back right to what Peter said on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. You know, when you were saying about knowing your assignments, I'm going to give you a prime example, and both of you guys, I'm sure you remember the big play when Tyke Smith completely bit on the wrong receiver, and he clearly knew that he had the inside receiver on the slot because he's sitting back at the safety. As soon as the corner jumped on the crossing route and that receiver was coming on the fly pattern, what in the world was Tyke thinking jumping in, on the outside receiver? I don't get it. I mean, he knows he doesn't have anybody behind him. He's playing 15 yards. He can't play a softer zone than that. But I'm seeing this every single week. So this is something that's going on that's mental. Where's their assignments? And again, this is on the outside. It wasn't a running play, but they're giving up way too many of these plays. James, you have got to clarify this for me, because let me be clear. If they don't fix this next week, it's not going to work. It's going to probably be for nothing anyway, because Atlanta's winning 14-0. But please, you did see the game, okay? And you do remember that play. How can you not know that you have that guy in the inside when you're lined up straight across from him and your corner's sitting on your right?
Well, it's usually simple rules in the secondary, no matter what coverage you're playing. If I'm inside in that safety position, if one comes out, one comes in, two's going out, I got the man that's coming into where I'm at, because my corner's going to help us on the outside.
If you're the corner.
If you're the corner. But then if you're the safety,
how about the safety?
You have to see that man and know. And again, one or two things could happen. We call it dirty eyes. You never want to have a defensive back with dirty eyes, because that means they're going to look at everything but their responsibility, and they're going to get burned in coverage. Or two, you just forgot what you were doing. And as simple as that sounds, you'll be surprised it happens a whole lot more than what people think. I mean, it's 9 million things going on outside of the game that should never come onto the field. But if I sat up here and told you it never came onto the field, I would be lying to you guys.
You know what the funny thing is?
The focus is just not there.
You know what the funny thing is? Tyke was actually arguing with the corner on it. The veteran.
Jamel
knew he's looking at Jamel going like, "What are you doing?" Jamel's like looking at him going, "Kid, are you crazy? What are you, nuts?"
Right.
I had this guy. He was your guy. He's going off the field. I'm watching the whole thing going, "This is a shit show."
Yeah.
What's going on? It's very disappointing, needless to say. But go ahead and finish what you were going to say. I just had to get the answer to that because I, for the life of me, could not understand what he's
Right.
seeing on that play.
And Peter, you asked if the fans have a right to be upset with Todd Bowles. I think they do, but it's the thing where when you're a fan, someone has to be the blame. You have to blame it on someone. And I knew a couple years ago when Dave Morales left to the Panthers. We knew when he left. Damn, okay, Liam Cohen comes in. Damn, okay, we got another good one. He leaves to be a head coach, which you cannot be mad at. The way it happened, a lot of people were pissed off about it. But at the end of the day, if that was his goal to be a head coach, the offense has stalled out. And a lot of that did happen when Bucky Irving got hurt and wasn't there to carry a lot of the load when he had that foot injury. But then there was still just no creativity there. So if you look at it to where the offense has let people down in a sense, but I think the blame really comes to the defense from a lot of fans is because your head coach is a defensive guy. He is supposed to have people in position to make the plays, to do the things they need to do to get off the field and find a way to win the game. And the amount of explosive plays that we gave up starting in that New England game on down through all these losses, it's just like, I just think that the most natural thing to do is like, oh my God, it's Todd Bowles' fault. He's got to go. And we don't know what's said inside the locker room. We don't know how they address it on a weekly basis. But for some reason, to me, when I look at it and when I've seen this happen in the past before, even if the corrections are being made by the defensive staff, it looks like it's falling on deaf ears. When players start to tone coaches out, one or two things got to happen. You got to find new players or you got to find a new coach. And it's usually easier to replace one person at the top than 53 people in the locker room.
Yeah.
Talking about it, when we talk about the defensive line here, big game, James Cannida, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, former Indianapolis Colts. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire. You were high on this. Yeah, for who? The Rams or the Falcons?
I think Falcons just picked him. He just picked, but you know what? He was all over him. This is gonna be no good. It's gonna be a PI.
All right. So, well, with that being said, how much does this team miss Elijah Cansey? We talked about Hassan Reddick. Going back to that, what do you see with Reddick? Is it lack of effort? Is it the fact he doesn't have it anymore? Is he washed? What is it for you that you see? Because you were at the Jets game, you watched the games with him. What do you see from number 5, and how much does this defensive line miss a Cansey? Big game, James.
They miss Cansey a lot, but at the same time, I just don't think Hassan Reddick came in and fit the scheme the way they thought he was. Because there's times when you watch a game and you're like, damn, is Reddick even on the field? And he is, but there's nothing being done. Another person that I thought was going to come into his own this year a little bit more was Yaya Diaby. And it's just not there. And I think once, someone like Elijah Cansey is not there to help apply pressure from that down position on the line to where he'll open things up for other people, some guys now are exposed because they're not capable of doing things anyone else setting it up. But I hate saying that because you see guys play a lot of times and you're like, damn, they should have retired 2 years ago.
Sorry, guys. 90-yard touchdown run, Atlanta. Oh my God, 21-0. Rams are getting their ass handed. So I'm not kidding you. I just watched it. By the way, the PI didn't cover because it was offensive pass interference. I thought it was defensive.
Wow.
Right.
And 93-yard touchdown run. Right. By the way, they didn't seal the edges.
But Harry, this is my thing, and a lot, as fans are watching tonight, like, oh my God, we need the Rams to do us a favor. No, we really need to do ourselves a favor, handle business, and do things that we're capable of doing. At the end of the day, as an athlete, you never want to rely on someone else to control your destiny and your future. It does come to where you need help sometimes, but the skid that we went on in the games we lost to the teams we lost to,
that's horrible.
I mean, the question I asked in one of my reels I did today was, do we even deserve and really want to get into the postseason? Because more than likely, if we continue to play this way, it would be an appearance and an exit. You know what I mean? It would be one and done. So even though I believe the NFL is wide open this year, I believe that any team that makes it to the postseason is capable, because like you see what the Falcons are doing to the Rams right now, right? Any team is capable, but carrying so much bad mojo into the postseason, it makes me just shake my head and wonder what the Buccaneers would do anyway if they really had an opportunity to play in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, do you sense that? Do you sense that Todd Bowles has kind of lost this locker room from that back-breaking loss against the Atlanta Falcons? You're up by 14 points. You're a defensive player. I mean, what's the mindset? At the end of the game, you see Vita Vea going after Hassan Reddick and Antoine Winfield Jr. Was that loss right there, the back-breaking deal for this locker room, and they haven't been able to recover from that? And what is it like to recover? Have you ever had a loss like that where you had to recover quickly from a disappointing loss after you're up by 14 points? How backbreaking is that? Do you think Bulls has lost the locker room, and do you think it's the reason why that backbreaking loss to the Falcons?
I think that was the straw on the camel's back. I really do. You hate to say it, you hate to see it, and like I said, he came out after that game saying what players needed to do, and then the hints, the tweets from Worth and other guys on defense and what they're putting out on social media, and you try to figure out how to read into it. But it's a lost cause right now. I do believe, guys. I don't think nothing's going to change. Like he says, we have to worry about the Buccaneers and what we do. Well, obviously right now, what you do hasn't worked over the last 8 weeks, and we don't know what can be fixed. Like right now, in my eyes, and I hate to say this, I don't think it can be fixed. I don't think there's going to be anything done differently this week that would make me think, oh yeah, they got it together finally. I mean, shit, if you couldn't get it right after that Patriots game, and the Bills game wasn't beyond horrible offensively, and then the Rams game, I mean, yeah, Baker got hurt early in that game, but even before then, it was a whole different get smacked in the face kind of thing, to where I remember one time when I was in Tampa, we went out to Oakland and the Raiders pulled out a can of whoop ass, and it was rough. And we really, that was that rookie year of mine, and we really didn't bounce back from that, and we missed the playoffs that year. And
was that 45-0?
Yeah. It was oh Jesus, it was bad.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was rough. Bad. And I just think it's one of those things to where there's finger pointing, there's disbelief, and like I said, I just believe the coaching staff is falling on deaf ears. I just think they're being tuned out right now, and players might shake their head and come say the right thing in the sound bites when they do the press conference and everything else, but I don't think they believe it. And the worst thing about that is, guys, usually when that happens, there's grumblings within the locker room of why they think changes should be made amongst the coaching staff, and players will start having that conversation with each other. And you best believe if the right player says it or hears it, it's going to get back to the GM, and they're going to weigh on it also, because they don't want a whole broken locker room. They don't. I mean, you got to try to find a way to fix it going into next year as best you can, because like right now, it looks like, and if a new coach comes in, depending on what kind of scheme they bring in, you're almost looking at a total rebuild mode. So everything that was drafted to fit Todd Bowles' scheme, and this next, if there's another coach, if there's a coaching change, another coach comes in, are you going to be able to get those pieces? Are you going to be able to be more active in free agency? I mean, there's some things that, we said the last couple of years, like, oh, we didn't get this and that, but we got sustainable pieces, and those pieces have not sustained. So it's going to have to be some major changes made. So if it's bad this year and a new coach comes in, Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans, buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride for a couple seasons, I think.
And I said it, Peter. Remember talking about it from before. You fire the head coach, you do it this year, which I am not a fan or an advocate of doing. I don't think this is all Todd Bowles' fault, although it is his responsibility. But the bottom line is this. You've got Baker on for another year. He's a bridge quarterback, and you are in a full-blown rebuild. But, James, I am not letting Jason Light unscathed out of this, okay? When your offensive lineman went down and you really knew you blew it with an edge rusher that you brought in, not to even go out there and sniff and knock on a couple of doors mid-season to try to get yourself some help, That is unexcusable because because Peter was even telling me, they're not going to need it. They're getting healthy. You remember that conversation, Pete?
Yeah.
But when they did get healthy, it's just like when you're asking about Kalijah Cansey. Peter, if they bring him back next week, the guy is a featured player on this defense. He's going to be on a pitch count.
Yeah.
There's no way you miss that kind of time and then you bring him in. Now,
Right.
if they're playing for a playoff fight, they're gonna overwork the guy. But I can't see them doing that. Okay, you can't. What are you going to do? Risk the guy's career because you might make a chance to get to the playoffs? You can't do it, man.
Right.
You can't do it.
I'll tell you what, I want to get to this guy on, a longtime sports broadcaster of Channel 44. He knows a little thing about the Bucs, something about the Tampa Bay Storm, the former Arena League. One of my favorites, Mr. Bob Alvarez. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television, my friend. Long time no see from you.
Gentlemen, it's been a while. Maybe I think a little bit over a year. Last time I was on the show, I think was before the NFL draft in 24, I believe.
How you doing, Bob?
Doing well, Harry. James, I don't think we've ever met, but hello.
Bob, how you doing? Nice to meet you.
My pleasure.
Well, listen, we're talking Bucs football here, of course, kind of a Bucs playoff game, if you will. At the end of the day, if you win the NFC South, even though fans right now think the season's over. Let me ask you, Bob, from what you've seen about this team, you've covered this team a long time. What you've seen on the field lately, do you think the season's over, or can they come out? Can they have some type of New Year's miracle here, be a different team against the Carolina Panthers? Once again, welcome to the evolution.
Thank you. And miracle would be the word. I look at the Buccaneers, and should they be fortunate enough to get into the playoffs, I mean, what does it all mean? I mean, somebody's got to win that division. Of course, there's the old cliche, once you get in, anything can happen. But the way they've been playing, losing 7 of the last 8, I think, something like that after starting the season so strong. But I don't know. It goes back to quarterback play. Something's up with Baker and, the coach. It always bothers me when I hear these coaches, I got to coach them up more or this or that, whatever cliche they pull out. But, it's been the same week after week. And I doubt anybody's been refusing their paychecks.
That's a good point. Now, James, you are part of the 50th season celebration there. Just kind of talk about that, being a part of this Tampa Bay Buccaneer organization in the 50th season. And then on top of that, talk about this documentary that came out, Raise the Flags. What did you think of that? And I'll go out to you, Bob.
Don't hate me, guys. I have not watched that documentary yet. And it's crazy because my phone has been blowing up, since it came out, and a buddy of mine hit me up. He said, "Man, have you watched the documentary yet?" He said, it's clips of you all through that thing when they talk about certain things. I was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "No, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it." But being just a part of that 50th reunion, just to be in that, like I tell everybody, I became a Buccaneers fan basically because they made my dream come true as far as playing in the National Football League. And I was around a bunch of good people, organization-wise, coach-wise, and player-wise. So being able to come back to Tampa that weekend, see some friends and guys that I hadn't seen in a really long time, and I was able to bring my oldest son back with me and introduce him to a lot of people and see a lot of those guys that he always heard me talk about or saw me in pictures with, for him to actually put eyes on them. It was a cool thing. And to still be received by so many of the Tampa Bay faithful the way I was that weekend I was in town was truly amazing and a blessing. So first thing on my agenda for when I get done with this show tonight, I am going to turn the documentary on Prime and check it out. I really am, because I was supposed to watch it earlier today. My schedule is crazy. I've been dealing with. You
might want to start that on a Friday.
Okay. Well,
trust me when I tell you,
I'm off work right now. I'm off work right now because for school.
It's a
and I'm
lot
on Christmas
of
break.
It's a lot of hours, man. But it's going to bring up things you're going to be like, what? For real.
Yeah, I'm going to go out to you, Bob. What did you think? Have you seen the documentary so far?
I've seen 2, maybe 3, the first 3 episodes. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's very well done. I've got to be a little conceited here, I guess, and with all the clips, I keep looking to see if I'm going to be in there somewhere. I haven't seen myself yet, but it's brought back a lot of memories. And this is one thing I always have wondered, and especially lately after watching the Heisman presentation and then watching the 3 episodes of the Bucs series. Where's Vinny Testaverde?
He's probably the 6th episode, if that's what you were asking.
Yeah, he's in there.
Okay.
Oh, they had a pretty good a pretty good segment about him. That was a very interesting. Honestly, it took me down memory lane more than anything. It really did.
Yeah, me too. And I always tell Bucs fans, I mean, if you think this was bad, go back there in the mid 80s or the early 90s and see how bad Buccaneer football was. I mean, let's start there. James, can you remember a bad Bucs team that I don't know if you were a part of one? Maybe you were. I don't think you were. But can you remember a bad Bucs season that comes to mind that's worse than 2025 at this point?
That it's not a season I remember on hand personally for being so young, but hearing everybody talk about that inaugural season when everything first kicked off in 75.
Oh, that was ugly.
Yeah, it was funny because I remember the Buccaneers used to be a joke. Like, it was even on sitcoms. At times it was like, oh my God, just imagine if you go to the NFL and you get drafted by the Buccaneers. I mean, the Buccaneers at one point in time was like, I was blessed to have had all winning seasons, and the 4 years I played with the Buccaneers, I made the playoffs all but 1 year. So a lot of success. NFC Championship run for me, and then a year later they go win the Super Bowl. We get to the Super Bowl and win it. So I was very fortunate to always be on good teams and the teams that change. And it was so funny because at the time, the uniforms had just changed 2 years prior to me getting drafted. So I was like, man, the Buccaneers got some cool uniforms now. Yeah. So everything was different and new for me when I got to Tampa in 1998, and it was. I know for a long time, and that's why you have true fans, but I remember being there sometimes, and it was so many implants from all over the country down in that part of Florida because they moved there to get rid of the weather. I met a lot of people that were fans of other teams, more so they were the Buccaneers. So to really meet that true Buccaneer fan base and people that were there from the beginning to now, and it's amazing. There are real Buccaneer fans out there. I tell my buddy that all the time because he teases me. He said, people in Tampa don't even like Tampa, James. I'm like, that's not true. Shut up. So it's good to see the real fan base sticking around. But I'm just telling you, be patient. This season, we just got to chalk up as a loss and get ready to try to get better for next year. Like Harry said, Jason Light needs to do a better job. And if Todd Bowles comes back, the one thing I've always said, I don't like to see coaches double dip. We can run Todd Bowles' defensive scheme, bring somebody else in there that can be a fresh set of eyes, get you a real defensive coordinator so you can actually manage the team the way the head coach needs to manage the team. Tony Dungy was a defensive genius. He let Monty Kiffin come in and do his thing. Todd Bowles needs to hand the defense over so he can keep his eyes fresh on all things out there going on during the game.
Yeah, and I think that's certainly a possibility here, Harry and Bob, and of course, Big Game James here on the Sports Web. Bob, what's the worst season you remember in Bucs history? Because I know you were a part of some of them. You covered them. There were some times where they went undefeated in preseason. And everybody thought, oh, man, it's going to turn around, and then it was awful. What's the season you remember with this Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
There were several. I relocated to Tampa and started my job at WTOG in August of '88. And
44.
It was the Ray Perkins era. It might have been Vinny's second year, maybe, with the team. And it was, we would go there during the week to get our interviews, and players would be hiding. They'd use the excuse that they were in the training room. And I remember that almost every station would have the same 2-3 guys who would speak. It was Ian Beckles, Tony Mayberry, and Ricky Reynolds, and occasionally Vinny. Everyone else had scattered. But one of the other things too is, at 44, we had the preseason game package and the coaches show. So I was the host of the coaches show for Ray Perkins, and then it was Richard Williamson for a year, and then Sam Weich when they got off to a good start. I remember one of the shows, we opened the show, Sam and I both had Buccaneers players jerseys and the football pants on. So there was a lot of excitement there for a while, but it was a lot of bad football that I remember. And, it was sad because, not that you become friends with any of the players, but you see them often and you cross paths that way. But it was a lot of bad football.
All right, I'm going to go to this big game, James. I know you don't have necessarily a lot of time, but we appreciate you, tuning, calling in here, or not calling in, but getting on the show. Go back to 99 to the NFC Championship game. What do you remember about that? Because I remember the hype around it. It was all about the greatest show on turf, and Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, and Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt. And I just remember saying, you know what, this defense is going to knock somebody out. And I remember John Lynch, I think, going on the Jim Rome show, saying in so many words, we're going to show this offense what this defense is all about. What do you remember about that week? What do you remember about that game, big game, James? And oh, by the way, we got one of our friends tuning in here, Trent Cooper, the great director of that documentary on Amazon Prime, is tuning in right now on Instagram Live. We appreciate you, sir. This is the reason why we do shows like this, my friend. You definitely killed it with that documentary, so we appreciate you. So big game, James. Talk about that week. Talk about that game in general.
Just going into the week, I remember the whole time Coach Dungy he made the statement early on in that team meeting on that Monday before we started game planning what was going to happen. He said, we're being overlooked, we're being underestimated, and if we do our job the way we've been working to do things all year, we'll go up here and get a victory. Now, we all know the outcome of that game.
It was a catch.
I'll tell you, Bernie Manuel caught the ball, and I tell everybody, Brian Kelly played coverage about as good as you can play coverage on Ricky Parole. That was just one hell of a ball, and for him to pull that thing in the way he did was pretty much amazing. But just the belief that Coach Dungy put into the team going into the week, to where even, guys that were on practice squad or guys that may have been inactive and not playing, everyone did their job to the best of their ability so that we could carry out our assignments to do what we needed to do. And to be in that game the entire game and then have it end the way it did. I remember the heartbreak and disappointment on everyone's face, disbelief of how things went down. But at the same time, knowing then that, this team has a very promising future with what we have in place, if, we could just keep things together. And then, eventually a couple years later going on to get that Super Bowl win. But yeah, that was all the preparation in the week. And that's, like I said, I tell a lot of people, I learned a lot of different things in the NFL, but to learn how to be a pro from the guys around me and the coaches around me was really what was the most amazing thing that, you take and you apply it in your everyday life now of how you need to approach everything, do everything, and attack the day, because there was no wasted minutes and time and any of the things we did leading up to that game.
Yeah, and I remember the tone being set. I think it was the third play of the game. The late, great Steve White had an interception on Kurt Warner that was unheard of because he was so flawless that year. Is that correct? What do you remember about your guy there, Steve White?
Man, first and foremost, man, rest in peace. I miss Steve a lot. That was a guy that was he was always about business, and Steve always had a chip on his shoulder from people thinking they were pretty much being an underdog coming into the league the way he did, and making plays. And we did that. We ran a lot of zone dogs at time in that Tampa 2 defense, to where sometimes we would mix it up. And they had plays that we looked at on film to where they would run that seam route to get Jamie Duncan, the middle linebacker, out of the middle of the field to have to run with the one receiver or the tight end that they would bring in. And then you would have to get someone else to be able to cover and make a play. So sometimes I would be a spy with the nose guard, or sometimes we were going to blitz one off the edge and drop that end out and get them in that passing lane, in that window that a lot of coaches on the offensive coaches weren't ready for and not used to seeing. And that was one of the great things that Monty Kiffin did all the time. He was able to change up assignments that one week one guy would do something, the next week it would be something else. So it was not a lot of predictability a lot of different times when we did things like that.
I want to go out. I want to go back to that real quick, and then I'll get out to Bob here in just a little bit, and we'll get you out of here. Big game, James. Appreciate it. Do you think that's a weakness with Todd Bowles' coaching, that he doesn't adjust enough, that a lot of people say he plays too much coverage with his outside linebackers when you have Yaya Diaby running 40 yards or Anthony Nelson? Do you think that's a weakness in Todd Bowles' defense and his overall game and coaching?
If you have the right personnel, it's not a weakness. But at the same time, I'm going to feel a lot better with Yaya Diaby being able to pin his ears back and rush more than I am him dropping to the boundary and covering a running back out the backfield. You know what I mean? To where it's not. And if you do want to do that, you have to have a different skill set, a guy with a different skill set. But the build of our edges, the way we play the defense, they almost all that build like Yaya, and it's tougher for them to cover. And then I'm not trying to be funny. If you look at Yaya Diaby from Louisville to now, he's not real fluid in the hips. That's not what he does well. So to ask him to drop, turn, run, and cover, it's not something that he's going to be able to do. 5-10 yards maybe, but if you got to pick that thing up and run all the way down the field with it, that's not going to happen. And then if that's the case, and you know that as a coach, you have to change how you call that. And the same thing, I love Anthony Nelson, the way he plays today, but dropping in the coverage for a long period of time, that's not his strong suit. He gets after well. He's a good run stopper. He applies pressure normally enough to where he can get a double. Then you want someone else on that edge to come, get more pressure. But that's just kind of the frustration with watching the Buccaneers play defense this year. You're just like, why are we doing that with the personnel that we have? It's not going to put us in positions to win games.
Well, I tell you right now, you're always in position on this show. If you want to have a position on this show, come on here, talk shop. We'll talk some defensive linemen. We may be going into the offseason here, big game, James, but always love, your insight. You played the game. You're always welcome here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, my friend. All right?
Man, I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
James, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot you played with my buddy King himself. I forgot all about that, Mr.
Sean King.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so off the record, of course, give me a little bit of dirt so I can keep rubbing it in there. What did he used to? No, for real, because he constantly lays into me, man. Every time we're together, give me something, because I always make fun of his hands because they're just small. Okay,
Yeah.
but I need something from back in the game that he wouldn't know it went back to you, of course.
We call Sean Willie Beeman.
Willie Beeman
from any given Sunday, man. Sean was all about the flash and just.
Of course, he still is.
So it was. Sean had a different way of doing things, and you always like, really, Sean? But at the same time, he was a good guy. But just, I don't know what real dirt I can give you. Give me a second.
Come on, give me something.
I got to think, man. This old brain of mine doesn't work as well as it used to.
No,
but
I understand.
I definitely will drop something in the inbox for you to be able to use.
I need something.
I promise I'll do that.
I promise. I'll probably see him here in the next couple of months again when he gets back up in town.
But just make sure you call and say, "What's up, Willie Beeman?" when you see him.
Willie, what's
Beeman, Willie Beeman,
Willie Beeman? Yes.
Oh, I can't wait.
We talked to your old colleagues and Dwight Smith a couple months ago. And he told a story about Derek Brooks, how he used to, in the sauna, he used to, turn up the heat or something like that. And Dwight thought, everybody always says, Derek Brooks, great guy. And when he told this story, he said, Derek Brooks should be in jail. Do you have a story about Derek Brooks here, big game, James, that you'd like to share with us?
It's so funny because every time I see D Brooks, he's like, Cannida, my man, what's going on? He said, I'll never forget it. So we had a game week one week, and I strained my quad. My left quad was a lot bigger than my right one, and Todd Torricelli told Rod Marinelli, like, hey, look, I'm going to keep Cannida out of practice today because we really just need this quad to relax and heal so he'll be ready for the game on Sunday.
How'd that go for you?
And so we're in the training room one day, Brooks and I sitting on the table talking. I'm getting iced and stretched. Marinelli comes in. He looks down at me. He looks up at the wall. He looks down at me. He looks over at Derek Brooks. He goes, D lineman, full quad, not fast enough, unacceptable. Turns around, walks out. Brooks dies. He goes, laugh and tell all the rest of the guys that Rod told James he got to practice today. It's unacceptable that a defensive lineman has a pulled quad. So every time I see Brooks, and when I saw him at the 50th reunion game, he was like, Cannida, pulled quad, unacceptable. And my son fell out laughing. My son's like, Dad, what's he talking about? So he sat up there. Derek Brooks told my son the whole story, and just my son just to enjoyment of having that conversation with a guy that wears a gold jacket and to hear that story about his pops was just hilarious to him, man. But Brooks was that guy. But if you were in the sauna and when Brooks came in, you pretty much knew, like, hey, I got to get out of here because he got the heat set on hell. Like, I can't survive this thing once D Brooks came in. So yeah, he ran that thing up as hot as he can get it. Would come in just with a bucket of water and dump it on those rocks, and you almost couldn't even see for the steam and everything going on in the sauna at the time, man.
All right, so there you go. There's I thought Dwight was just telling me a fib there, but
no lies. If that's what he mentioned, there was no lies told on that. That sauna was like an oven, man. He thought you were gonna die on that.
I knew we were gonna get story time with James today. All we got to do is just lead it right down the golden path.
That's it. There you go. And of course, Derek Brooks running USF right now. We look to get him on the show here eventually. Big game, James. Go ahead and promote yourself, my friend.
You know what? If you do get Derek,
yes,
I promise you, I will get a hold of Mr. Big James. We'll get them both on together. I would love to hear those stories.
Oh, yeah, we're getting them on. Trust me. Big game, James. Go ahead and promote yourself here on the Sports Web, my friend.
Well, man, thank you. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Big Game Sports Buzz on the BGSE network. We usually go live every Thursday. This week, we are kicking things off tomorrow because it's New Year's. We talk all things sports from the pro athlete and the sports fanatic perspective. Then you can also catch James Cannida's Pewter Perspective. That's just me dropping my nuggets and takes on all things Tampa Bay Buccaneers football.
Love it. Big game, James Cannida. Thanks a lot for joining us here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, my friend. We'll see you soon, all right?
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. You have a good night.
All right,
James,
great
man.
stuff
Thanks
there.
for coming on.
Absolutely great stuff from him. Let's go
Awesome,
on to
dude.
Bob Alvarez here talking about this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. Of course, all eyes will be on Saturday. Can this team turn it around versus the Carolina Panthers? And right now, it is not looking good.
Oh, this is horrible.
Well, give us the update on the game here.
Third and 7 from the 10-yard line for the Rams. Okay, on Atlanta. He takes another sack. They have to go for 3. They're down 21-3. 11 minutes to go in the game. Good luck.
All right, so we'll keep you up to date on that game. Very important to the playoff implications. Of course, if Atlanta wins out, and even if Carolina wins or loses, they still win the division with the tiebreaker. As crazy as that sounds. And once again, the Bucs made their bed, and now they have to sleep in it because you lose to the Saints, Bob. You lose to the Atlanta Falcons, and, of course, you lose to the Carolina Panthers. But what do you think the biggest problem with this team right now is, Bob?
Well, you could say injuries, and every team has injuries, but some teams recover well from their injuries. Talking about the 49ers last night. But certainly the injuries on the offensive line did not help any. Baker, he's done a 180 from the way the season started. And, what I did not like seeing, and I'm sure you guys saw it as well, I saw it somewhere on the internet, was Bucky Irving having some words with Tristan Wirfs on the sidelines. It's never good to see something like that. But as Big Game James alluded to, internally, once you start losing, and we alluded to those early Buccaneers teams that we covered, once you start losing, that snowball keeps growing, and there's that underlying current there. But yeah, I mean, quarterback play, I think in football, any level of football is the key, and Baker hasn't played well, and losing has perpetuated.
Yeah, I mean, it's snowballed at this point, Bob and Harry. And, I want to talk to you, Harry. Is that what you see? Do you see Baker Mayfield? Do you think he's hurt at this point? It doesn't seem like he's playing like he did early on in the season. You still have ill-advised throws. You had 2 interceptions in that game versus the Dolphins. There's a funny, a stat out there. The Bucs are 7-1 when Baker Mayfield doesn't throw an interception. They are 0-8 when he throws an interception or more.
Because they usually come in bunches, Pete. It's just going to be a robotic answer. I've been asked this question numerous times, different platforms.
Yeah.
The problem right now with Tampa Bay, especially in regards to Baker Mayfield, he's playing hurt. Okay. And it's a shame this organization's doing the same damn thing that Cleveland did. Someone has got to be able to say, son, you need to sit down.
Right.
I understand you want to play. He's a gamer and everybody's enamored with it, but this is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
There's something obviously wrong with his throwing shoulder. Seriously, that one interception that he underthrew, if you notice, there was no air under the ball because he can't throw it. He can't get lift off of it. His shoulder is killing him. His back is killing him. You can physically see him wincing every time he throws the football. This isn't the same Baker Mayfield, unfortunately. And if they're not careful, it can end up the same way it did in Cleveland.
It could. And you go back to it, Bob. You make a great point there. You don't like to see Tristan Wirfs and Bucky Irving. And again, it's an emotional game. But when you see players going at each other at this point, and supposedly Bucky was going at the offensive line, Tristan Wirfs being one of the team captains stepped in, and it just has not worked this year at all. All the expectations. I mean, again, Tristan Wirfs at the beginning of the year being hurt, Chris Godwin, and it just seems like this team has been snake bitten when it comes to injury situation. And it seems like it's been more injuries, not just with the Bucs, but around the NFL. Why do you think that is? Is it because they're not practicing enough? They're not getting enough reps, Bob? What do you think it is?
I think it's wear and tear from just a life of playing football. And these guys start at a young age, and the training methods have evolved from back in the day. And, it's a 24/7 thing for a lot of these kids. And they have this goal, to play college, to play in the pros. And I think it's just, wear and tear on their bodies because, from a nutrition standpoint and training standpoint, things have probably never been this good. But the question is, how much can the body take? And, football, as you guys know, is a rough game. And especially on the pro level, I always thought, and this is impossible, but I always thought it would be nice if every fan of football could watch 1 quarter of a pro football game from down on the field. Because when I covered the Bucs and I covered the Saints and a few college teams, I always covered the games from the sidelines. I rarely went up into the press box. And as you guys know, football at the pro level is fast. You've got big guys moving fast, the collisions. It's a brutal sport. And as I said, I mean, how much can the body handle? At some point, it's going to break down.
Yeah, I remember, interning for WTSP, being on the field there and seeing a Mike Alstott close and personal, how fast he was and how big he was, and just like, wow. I mean, it's a totally different game, at the end of the day. We were talking college football. You reached out to me. I'm glad you did, because you've got something exciting going on in your life right now. You're a big Indiana Hoosier fan. Of course, Ian Beckles was mentioned. He's an Indiana guy right now. I mean, what do you think of this program and what the coach has been able to do? And just a couple years here with the Indiana Hoosiers, having them, playing in the playoff here and having a great opportunity to win it all. What do you think is going on there with the Indiana Hoosiers, my friend?
Guys? Nothing short of a miracle. And you talk about a fan base that has suffered in just about the whole history of the football program. But I liken what Curt Cignetti has done at Indiana University to what Tom Brady did to the Buccaneers organization when he came here, from the simple fact of changing the mindset from everybody, from the janitor to the owner, to the university president. And I've, watched every one of their games the past 2 years. I've watched probably every Monday press conference and post-game press conference with Curt Cignetti. And, the man is a disciplinarian, and you guys have heard many times, you always hear good players want to be coached. The disciplinarian. And one of the two things that stand out to me about him is that, number one, he doesn't talk much to his players. His words are few and to the point, so they get the message. And secondly, I had not heard this before, but he said, we always hear there's no I in team. And he said team, and it stands for together, everyone accomplishes more.
Wow.
And that pretty much sums it up. His practices are an hour, 10 minutes, every minute, every second accounted for. And, we talked about quarterback play. They have it. They had it last year. They really have it this year. And my fingers are crossed. I'm saying my prayers. It would really be something if they could pull this off and win the national championship.
You talk about the quarterback, and we'll get you out of here in this. We appreciate the time as always, Bob. Is he the real deal, in your opinion, the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback? Can he go to the next level in the NFL? Because you hear around in NFL circles that they're not sure if he's the real deal. I think he could be the real deal. What do you say about Mendoza?
I think he is. I have heard that, Indiana runs a pro-style offense, and he's able to make all the throws. He's, you watch his interviews and you think, wow, this guy's putting on an act, but he is who he is. He's very faith-based individual. He's worked for everything that he's gotten. He's able to take a hit when he plays. He's very accurate. I mean, he's, Indiana has a very balanced offense.
Yeah.
With their running and passing. He's completing, I think it's like 71% of his passes, has only thrown 6 interceptions this year. I think he's the real deal. I have this thought, though, and I'm not an expert, but it looks like the Raiders are going to have the first pick. Fernando has a year left, so he could come back to Indiana. The way things are with the portal, who knows? As you guys know, he's from Miami. Miami needs a quarterback next year. So who knows what could happen there? But, I've also, and you guys have probably heard this too, through the years, you always hear, well, the NFL is better when those charter franchises like the Giants and the Bears are good. And, the MLB is good when those charter franchises, the Yankees and the Cubs, are good. I don't think Roger Goodell's a little bit everything up board rather than underboard. But I really think it would do the NFL good, and it would do the Miami Dolphins franchise very good if they could maybe finagle something somehow where Fernando ends up playing in Miami. I would like to see that because, of course, any kid to play in the NFL will play for any team. But, as we saw John Elway back in the day and we saw Eli Manning, I would just really hate to see him. Really, I hate to see any rookie quarterback thrust into a starting role.
Sure.
And, of course, there's a reason the Raiders are probably going to pick first because they're a terrible team. So
Right.
You hate to see that situation. But, I think he's pro ready. But, as he has said himself, he took a big leap under Cignetti and the quarterback coach and the offensive coordinator from Cal to Indiana. And he has said it. And Cignetti has said it many times that, with his talent, he's just scratched the surface.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if you put him with the Miami Dolphins. Hopefully, the offensive line does a better job of blocking for him than they did for Tua.
Always a key.
Bob, go ahead and promote yourself here because you're doing some great things, just not sports here because you've done sports before. You have a history of it, but what are you doing now, Bob?
Thank you for allowing me to mention this. In 2002, I pretty much stepped out of the sports world and I began teaching Italian because I am Italian and I do have a degree in the Italian language. But I began teaching in 2002 in the Tampa Bay area. And the thing that I do differently is I hold my classes in local Italian restaurants. So there's a synergy there of me bringing them business, they giving me a place to teach. And there's no better way to learn Italian than having a little food and a little bit of vino. So what I specialize in is preparing people for their vacations to Italy, teaching them a lot about the language, the culture, the do's, the don'ts, how to eat, how to travel, et cetera, et cetera. But my classes are also good for people that might be of Italian descent, have always thought about learning the language, never heard it at home, or maybe they just heard the swear words at home. So my classes are usually 4 weeks long. So it's a good opportunity to stick your toe in the water without a big commitment to see, if you like it. Are you able to learn? Do you have the time to study? And it's a lot of fun. I've been blessed in my life. Working sports was a great job, had a lot of fun, and having a lot of fun doing this as well. And lastly, my website is on the screen, www.learnitalian.us. All the info about my classes and private lessons, as well as a lot of free video tutorials are there. Period.
Good stuff. Bob Alvarez, thanks a lot for joining me here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Don't be a stranger. And by the way, good luck to your Indiana Hoosiers. I think
Thank you.
Great opportunity.
Hey, can I say one more thing? I got a bone to pick with Harry.
Go ahead.
When I was on the show a couple of years ago, like I said, it was before the NBA draft, and we were discussing the quarterbacks. And I said, hey, I'm a firm believer in this kid, Bo Nix.
Mm-hmm.
Harry, in as many words, told me I was crazy.
Yeah, I didn't like Bo Nix. I mean, he sucked at Auburn. Let's be real. But yeah, what a believer. But he's still not better than my boy Caleb.
I tell you what, I grew up
What
just
a
outside of
special.
Chicago, and I'm very happy to see the Bears come back around. And they might
The
be
NFL's
the
better
Bear.
with Chicago being good. They really are. They're a year away. But you know what? You just said something that was I didn't realize the company I work for also owns a restaurant. And this particular restaurant's probably one of the finer Italian restaurants that no one's ever heard of. It's got a world-known executive chef there, and the name of the place is Trattoria Diana, right there on Main Street in Dunedin. Bob, you can get the information for me. I can set it up for you if you want to hold a couple of classes there. It's fine. They got very, very good wine, and the food, when I tell you authentic, forget about it. I'm telling you, it's just absolutely off the chain, and it's completely a scratch kitchen.
I would like to talk to you about that, Harry. I appreciate it. And guys, Merry Christmas and Buon Anno, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Bob Alvarez.
Ciao, Bella.
Appreciate the time here.
How come you got me working next to Stunat over here, huh?
Colpa tua. That's your fault.
All right. Thanks a lot,
And you
Bob.
were right about Bo Nix. Thank you for reminding me about it.
Yes, they have an opportunity to get the number 1 seed at this point. Justin Herbert not playing in that game for the Chargers. So there you go. How about
Thank
that?
you, guys. I appreciate it very much.
Bob,
Absolutely.
much appreciated. You have yourself a great one.
You too.
All right.
God bless. Ciao.
God
God bless
bless.
you too, man.
All right.
Be blessed, brother.
Great stuff there. Let's go out to you, Harry. And we got Tampa Bay Ray possibly coming on here. Right now,
you can replace me with him because
Okay.
I have to get to these phone calls, Pete. This
yes,
is some
give me
serious scratch.
give me some final thoughts here.
Give
on
me
the
some
Evolution.
final thoughts. Final
Yes.
thoughts for you guys on this one is it's 21-0, 21-3. Good luck.
Well, the Rams have scored. There we go, right there. I
didn't see it. Okay,
just-
good. I'm glad you became a Rams fan.
Well-
This that's right, 24-10. Thank God. Peter's going crazy.
I hate the Rams, bro. I hate them. But listen,
Oh, tonight you absolutely love
the
them.
Bucs. If the Bucs, if they listen, the Bucs
They
fans, we
can't
want to
stop
win.
Bijan Robinson.
Well, they better figure this out because they're supposedly going to be a number one seeded team, and they're not playing like it's tonight against an inferior team. So, by the way, fire Sean McVay. I think the Bucs will take Sean McVay.
They're going to be a wild card team.
Well, fire McVay. The Bucs fan base will take
not firing McVay. Will you stop it?
All right.
God, that's just like you talking about Derek Carr. Give me Derek Carr. I gotta go. I'll see you guys later.
All right. See you later. Harry the Greek right there. There he is. All right. Let's go out to this guy right here.
Mr. Cannida!
Mr. Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy out there live. Where are you at tonight, man? On the street. How you doing? Welcome to the Evolution.
Brother, I'm out here in Ferg's backyard, because there's a lot of partying going on out front there. It was funny because there weren't a lot of Rams or Falcons fans here, but a couple of Rams fans were kind of vocal early. But the Falcons, they came through in this game, and you listen to the scenario, the Buccaneers can actually finish fourth in the NFC South here or something if some stuff goes on.
Well, what happens is basically if the Atlanta Falcons win out, it doesn't matter about that game on Saturday. Of course, the Atlanta wins tonight, and then they beat the New Orleans Saints. Then Carolina wins the division by the tiebreaker. So that's the reason why, as much as Bucs fans, their history, you hate the Rams. Tonight, you're rooting for the Rams to beat the Falcons, and right now, they're down 24-10. I have not read the comments. I don't want to neglect you guys, so we'll go out to the comments. Open phone line also, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's reset. Let's go ahead and play these Todd Bowles comments in case you didn't hear him after the game, and you tell me what you think, Bucs fans. Here we go.
I think we got to erase that from our heads because we have to get ourselves together before we worry about anybody else, Carolina or anybody else. We just shooting ourselves in the foot at every chance. That starts with me. I got to coach them better. They got to play it better, and then we got to figure out how we can stop making our mistakes to move on. So if we play and do the things we did today, next week, we won't be going anywhere. Everything's possible, and you always got a chance to play. We just need to put it together and play, and that takes work, and we work hard. We do it right in practice. Can't explain it in the game, but we definitely, as coaches and as players, got to look ourselves in the mirror, and we just need to work on the Bucs. Whatever Carolina does, they do. We got to work on the Bucs and stay working on the Bucs, and we got to figure that part out.
All right, let's go out to Trevor using your call here, your first call of the night. You're on with yours truly, along with Mr. Best of the Bay, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. Go, my friend.
The thing that stuck out to me, and I've had a day to think about it.
Yep.
Is I just didn't like the energy from the players yesterday. Like I didn't. Your saying is bring the passion, don't bring the nonsense.
Yeah, bring your passion, bring your excitement, just don't bring any nonsense. That's what you've seen from this Bucs team.
There was no passion.
No passion.
There was
no energy.
Yeah, there was no excitement. There was a lot of nonsense, though. You can believe that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. This is the first time in Todd Bowles' whole tenure that I'll be honest, I was questioning yesterday, has he lost the locker room? Because the energy is not there. I can see, like, we've lost games, but you could see, like, okay, these guys are fighting their ass off to try to, like, come back and win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday it was just like, the hell with it. We're just going to lose. I don't give a damn if we lose or not. I mean, that's the energy that I was feeling. I don't know about you guys. If I'm crazy, tell me.
No, I don't think you're crazy. I think the disappointing thing about this team is why does it take so long offensively? You got that first drive, and then after that, you have nothing. You have a blocked field goal. You have a punt. Miscues, miscommunication. It just continues to plague this team. And then, later on in the fourth quarter, I get it. The Dolphins are playing some type of prevent defense. 3 plays, 91 yards, a big explosive play there to Chris Godwin. Why does it take so long to get in gear? Is it the offensive play calling? Is it the injury situation, especially to your offensive line, to Baker Mayfield? There's so many things right now. And then your defense, say whatever you want to, giving up a big play before the half. I thought they played well in the second half, but your offense is only giving you 17 points. And listen, you're a lot healthier than you were at the beginning of the year. So it just doesn't make any sense right now. The energy is off. I don't know if he's lost the locker room. You know, my big thing was defending Todd Bowles because this team will play for him in an adverse situation. They haven't been able to do that. Their backs have been against the wall, and they haven't been able to come out of this. And I guess, listen, you got to prove yourself here this Saturday versus the Carolina Panthers. You still have something on the line. You still have to take care of your business. If you can, then, you know, who knows? But is there any confidence right now with you, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, that they can come out of this funk right now? Because it is definitely snowballing.
To back up what Travis was saying right there, and right in Todd Bowles, it's got Trevor. I'm sorry, Trevor, my friend.
Travis is his brother.
Travis, Trevor. But the thing is, it's like, okay, he's saying we do it right in practice, but it doesn't go into the game, which to me, again, like Trevor questioned, didn't see Hard. And I was right there yesterday with you guys. I was there in Hard Rock. I saw Mike, I saw everyone going through the motions. I saw a team that hasn't quit on a coach, but I saw a team that played without any heart.
Well, I mean, that's a tough thing right now, Trevor. I mean, what do you think of Todd Bowles' comments? Because we gotta take care of ourselves. We're able to do it in practice, but we're not able to put it on the field. Bucs got to worry about the Bucs. We got to coach it up better. I mean, this is coach speak, and you're saying this, week 17, week 18 coming.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
You know what that sounded like to me, Peter?
What's that sound like?
It was blah, 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 blah. That's what I was getting out of it.
You went with the Charlie Brown thing. You went with the thing when I'm on the phone during the day and I'm trying to sell insurance quotes and somebody tells me no and I go, da da da, and they go blah 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 blah, and I'm like, okay, and then I go right back into the script and I sell them, or I just hang up on them and say have a great day because I didn't hear anything they said. I probably got to do a better job of listening, but I've been doing well at my insurance job. Anyway, yes.
And I was, and I have a friend that's a Carolina Panthers fan.
Right. Oh, God.
The energy
must be unbearable.
Me that their fan base is feeling is like, although they lost to Seattle yesterday, they're not stressing because they feel like they're just going to come to Tampa and just flat out kick our ass on Saturday.
Right.
We don't scare anybody anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just one of those things. And with Todd Bowles, like I watched the press conference today, and I ain't gonna lie, I was frustrated with what he was saying, and I think it's just frustrating with the whole season. I think that's just frustration as a fan. It's like he's saying the right things, but at this point, it's like, no shit, bro. Y'all need to get it together. You know what I mean? And it's starting to wear thin. It's to the point, Peter, where like heads may fly off of this, and they need to. I mean, hell, man, I'm not even safe, man. They may fire me. I'm just
Trevor.
Well, nobody's going to fire you here on the Sports.
No, can't fire Trevor. But Trevor, I want to back up something you said there. You talked about the team feeling, my light quit. I have no more glamour shot light. You talk about the team quitting and not seeing that heart. And you talked about the Carolina Panthers fans. They're celebrating the fact that they may win the division for the first time since Cam Newton wasn't yet in too many protocols. So, I mean, it does end up being perspective. So, but I wanted to make sure it's not lost on us as we're trying to figure out what the heck happened in 25. We still have a chance to finish something out here. So fight for it and enjoy it.
Absolutely. All right, Trevor, appreciate the call. Use the second one, my friend. All right.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
Yep, you too, man. Absolutely. Let's go out to Alex. Alex, welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly, along with Best of the Base, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. Go.
Good evening, guys. Well, let me start by giving you a little quick Rams update.
Give it to me.
Just got a blocked field goal down by a touchdown.
Yes, it's going to happen. The Atlanta Falcons are going to blow this. They're going
to choke this.
They're going to choke
what does that remind you of, boys?
28-3, baby. 28-3.
28-3. So listen, keep it up. We got
Yes.
some hope here. Looking good.
Yes.
But guys, listen, great stuff tonight.
Thank you.
Tampa Bay Ray, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah, talk to Tampa Bay Ray here.
I'm good. I was just thinking though, because like the way you laid it out earlier, Pete, with the Atlanta, with the getting in and the division, suddenly, Carolina can lock it up before the game starts at 4 p.m. on Sunday. I'm like, that sounds like the script the NFL wants. But then I'm like, also the Rams winning that script too. So if we're talking NFL scripts, which one's going to win it, Alex? Is it going to be they want the Falcons to make more thickness there in the South, or is it the South is just too lost and they want to make the West a little more?
You make a good point there. You make a good point. Me and my nephew was talking about this evening just a little bit ago. Man, what a script it would be. What a script it would be to see everything laying down for this NFC South coming down to that Saints game. And who would have thought it comes down to that very last game, very last second, because man, what a game that's going to be at 4:30 in Tampa Bay, in Tampa at Ray J. All or nothing, man. But listen, we talking about this past week, going into this next final week of the season. First of all, I think we can all contest and say that I never thought going into this season that we would be score watching some of the worst teams in the NFL, hoping and praying to these NFL gods and the football gods that they can give us some sort of life. But, man, do we got to turn it around. The Baker interception's got to be fixed. This offensive line's got to be fixed. The defense giving up 3rd and long's got to be fixed. I've seen a lot of stuff over the last 24 to 48 hours about Todd Bowles. And, Peter, you've been very hard on me for the last year and a half. A lot of people about calling for a coach's job. And I'll be the first to say it's been a couple times I have. But I really do think Sunday his job is going to be on the line. It's going to be all or nothing. And
it'll be Saturday.
Listen,
It'll be Saturday because you got Saturday at 4:30. And by the way, let me go full screen here really quick just to do some house cleaning here. In case you don't know, we got you covered live from the tailgate there a couple hours before the game on Saturday afternoon. We'll be live from What the Buck Tailgates, the evolution of sports talk television. Take your phone calls, talking to Bucs fans, trying to get them ready to go for Bucs versus the Panthers. And then, of course, at the end of the game, 30 to 35 minutes, as I set all my equipment up again, the camera, the laptop, all the phone lines, will be live from Raymond James Stadium in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show. Whether the Bucs win or lose, we got you covered here on the evolution of sports talk television. All right, back to your
regular. Let me add this too, guys,
yes.
For everyone watching out there. There's no show out there that's going to give you the opportunity to bring it to you live from Ray J, give you the opportunity to call. Hey, Peter, I'm back in Tampa Bay, baby. I'm back home.
All right.
I need to come link up with you, man, and appreciate all you do. I've been trying to get out there. Been out of town the last couple months, but I'm home. So listen, I'm looking for a do or die game on Sunday. Hopefully the Rams can complete a comeback so we don't have to worry about that Sunday game.
Sure.
But guys, I just going to be honest with you. Cannot believe, we're score watching some of the worst teams in the NFL, but this is where we are.
Yep.
Do or die, everything on the line. I think Todd Bowles knows something's going on with himself. All on the line, baby. But hey, Tampa Bay Ray, great stuff. Guys, we're almost close to talking some baseball again. Can't wait for that.
Yes.
Ain't stopped.
Be a great year in 2026.
All right, good stuff there, Alex. Appreciate the call. As always, use that second one. Happy New Year to all of the web heads out there, all the Bucs fans. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So let's go through these comments. Of course, like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Facebook stars are open. YouTube super chats. Tampa Bay sports fan, Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans, this is your time to say what you want to say. And of course, I'd be remiss to not say also, if you get the opportunity to come out there and we get the opportunity to go out there again, that would be Tampa Joe's 9316 Anderson Road in Tampa for your Bucs away watch parties. I'm not taking your call, Joe Sway, because I know you want to change the subject and you're not going to do it tonight on me.
You want to talk baseball still?
We're not doing baseball tonight. Do you want to hear something crazy? I just thought about it today. I'm really thinking about conspiracies now. Don't do that. Hi, Peter Blake. Hi, Eric. How you doing? Tim says, what's up, Peter? What's up with you?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to...
Damn it, Jim. What the hell is the matter with you?
Mr. Jim here. Well, let's go, Peter H. Blake and the Sports Web. Appreciate you as always. And again, Tampa Joe's great turnout yesterday. DJ UPS came out. Jay Pringle, big-time Bucs fans there. Michael Hulk, the real Hulk of the Sports Web. So if the Bucs get the opportunity to be on the road in the playoffs, this is your place to go to, Bucs fans. There's no other bar that has the evolution of sports talk television where you can sit down in front of a camera and say what you want to say. Your live edition of the evolution of sports talk television with all the phone calls, all the sound effects, me screaming at the top of my lungs, even in a Philly bar. It can be done. We can change that Philly bar. As I told them, it's gonna be Tampa Bay Joe's, not Tampa Joe's, because everybody in Tampa Bay is gonna be there for the evolution of sports talk television. Let me tell you something, guys. If you know me all too well throughout the years, I don't fail. It takes a little bit. It takes a little bit for me to get what I want, but eventually I get what I want here on the evolution. All right, this team needs to play more aggressive. Agree with that. Let's go out to Brightside Broadway. Hey, Peter. Hey, to you.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like the Rams and the Falcons want to screw the Bucs even more. Falcons taking it to the Rams, but again, update the score on that. 24-17. They were up 24-3. I feel like it's deja vu all over again with this Rams team doing what they're doing right now. The Rams are talented, but what the Falcons are doing. Go Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Todd Bowles Buccaneers. You cry babies out there, so we'll fire the cannons right there. Let's go. Let's win a game, Buccaneers. Absolutely. Christopher Cole says it looks like the Rams want to come to Carolina and get their ass whooped. Eric says Dave England agreed. Crazy. Drew, who shouldn't take care of business? We should not be in this situation anyway. Agree with you on that. King Cook says, what's good, Peter? Go Bucs. Go Bucs. Good stuff there. Let's go out to Jim, a Buccaneer fan for life. Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Eric. Drew, 100% agree with you. Dave, 14-0. Dave, again, Rams laying down to the Falcons. We'll see. Okay, I got all the sorry Falcons are up, but only 24-17. So maybe I should skip some of these comments. We got to coach it better, play it better, laugh out loud. Same old. Drew, again, Rams not good. Just look like they're playing scared against this team. Let's go out to KR. KR, evening, Peter, wishing you a blessed new year. Just want the Bucs to be back on top of the mountain again. Happy New Year to all you guys. Be safe. We will not be on New Year's Eve. I want you to spend it with your family. I want you guys to just get ready for Saturday because you know me, I'm the eternal optimist. Right now it doesn't seem great, but I'm going to do my best to hopefully bring that passion and bring that excitement to that team on Saturday afternoon.
I might still have that extra ticket to the ReliaQuest Bowl, and we got it from Iowa Boosters, so it's going to be really low on the Iowa side. So since the sports web's not happening, keep that in mind too.
Well, yeah, and I got to work that day, so I would be out there. But usually we cover the ReliaQuest Bowl, but I got to work in a new job. I'm happy with the new job. Got to make money
this year.
4 years of cliche, says Scott. Thanks a lot for tuning in there, Scott, on YouTube. Once again, like and subscribe to the sports web there. Realtor David Zuzman, no coach can overcome Jason Light's incompetence. The only way we've ever won anything as Light's tender was because we had the best quarterback of all time, and Brady ran free agency signings. Light stinks. Once again, we go back through this. The team was already pre-made. You traded for JPP. You went out and got Ndamukong Suh. You went out and got Shaq Barrett. You had Levante David there. Jason Light had the talent with Chris Godwin. He built that offensive line. Everybody's saying, yes, Brady coming, Gronk coming, AB, Leonard Fournette, big time components. But once again, Realtor David Zuzman, Brady doesn't choose this team if Jason Light doesn't put together this team. Let's go out to the bodyguard of the Berg, Mr. Ralph Williams, watching. Thank you very much. Michael Catone, thanks a lot for tuning in. We're going to try to get you to be a positive Bucs fan. You've been very negative. I get it. You're telling it like it is. Pack Tampa Bay up, going to lose the division before Saturday's game. We'll see. Typical Bucs thing ever. Drew says our fan base is spoiled. They want this team to win, but won't even show up to cheer this team on. I have
Pete, stop there for a second though. Go back to that one if you will, because it's been a 5-year heater, right? I mean, we were already ready, and go back to the other thing, because if Jameis is here if there's no door 2 and Jameis is here in 20 for that second season, he cuts those interceptions down by 7, and we win our division, and we may have won the South still because of how crappy the rest of it is. We may have still won the South for 5 years, but yeah, Brady at quarterback was the reason why that Lombardi's in the case. A great part of that team. But my point is that, this we're ready to run off because we're like, we've been at the top. It's been a long heater. And think about a team like the Carolina Panthers. Their fans would give anything for a wild card game and to lose and get out. And I'm not saying that we're going to win it and go to the Super Bowl. All I'm saying is approach it knowing you're going to enjoy it for what it is. You're going to be there on Sunday. You're going to hopefully see them win. We're going to lock it down, but also be in a moment instead of just knowing you can't wait till Monday morning to find out who gets axed. It's going to happen anyway, but don't go into it waiting for that, because if you're just going on the destination, sometimes you lose the parts of the journey you enjoy. So that's all. I'm sorry.
Good stuff there. Let me go out to one of our other sponsors here really quick. I want to play this commercial because they do a bang up job when it comes to haircuts. It's Up the Block Barbershop. We'll be back in just a moment here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television on a Monday night. Up the Block Barbershop. You don't have to go far. It's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Whether it's a haircut, a beard trim, a fade, they got you covered. Go see my favorite barber, Ricky, and all the great barbers there at Up the Block Barbershop. Tell them the Rolex reporter, Peter Blake, sent you. Again, it's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road. Let's go out to the phone lines. Broadway, you're on the evolution of Sports Talk Television live here at Raymond James Stadium after your Bucs fall to 6-3. Go. All right, so there you go. Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Go see my favorite barber, Ricky. You like the beard cut, you like the fade, you like a haircut, that's where you go. You don't have to go far. It's Up the Block Barbershop. There you go. All right, so let's see here. Reddick sucks. Waste of money. Good job, Light. Dave says, how about Bucky arguing with the offensive line? Worth stepping in to calm things down. This team has problems and leadership has lost control. I think that shows leadership. I think, Tristan Wirfs stepping in there. It's frustration right now because Bucky's not the same guy. He's coming off an injury. Furthermore, your offensive line isn't very good right now because you're missing both of your guards. And, of course, you're missing Wirfs at the left tackle. So this running game has struggled mightily. It's not what you thought. And I think Bucky is, he's frustrated with the season as much as a lot of the Bucs fans are frustrated, right?
Yeah, and I watched Tristan come right through the tunnel after the game, and he's still limping. He was limping, and he was showing it. And I mean, he was limping to the point, and I'm not sure if you guys got a chance to see it on TV, but he was limping to the point where I was like, I probably would have left my all-pro left tackle, who was then my all-pro right tackle, would have let that cat just stay in Tampa. And if the fact that he was there also goes to me as far as losing the locker room. It's one of those deals where I'm not saying Tristan Wirfs is that kind of pro because he's never went through adversity as a Buccaneer. It's been pretty good since he got here. But the fact that he's still there coaching up on the sidelines and this team has the veterans that are still there, it lets me know that, like we've already said, Bowles hasn't lost his locker room. But these injuries, they've decimated any chance this locker room had for some serious cohesion this year. It just feels that way.
It does feel that way. And listen, it's all about the offensive line. I always talk about it. You can, again, have all these wide receivers, have running backs, have a quarterback. But if you don't have an offensive line that's consistent, that's there the whole year, you have all this reshufflings, it's not going to work out. And then furthermore, you got to have a consistent defensive line. And both of those things right now are missing off of this team. Ray, how are you doing out there? Do you need to leave? Because I know you've been out there for a little bit. Do you want to give me some final thoughts, and then I'll end it off with your final thoughts? Or are you cool to stay for a little bit?
Go full shot. I'm not sure if you can see it. Can you actually see in back of me? That's Tropicana Field. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see. Yes, a little bit of it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Well, I mean, it was dark, but I had to step out here because I had a soundboard. But no, I'm good to stay. If you want to read some more comments, I mean, if you want to ditch me, I'm fine. But I'm going to be here for another hour. I might even walk down to I like to walk down to the marina, and I took a couple of days off from work so I could kind of get in touch with myself. And maybe I go down to the waterfront tonight. Maybe I just touch myself.
Well, nobody cares about you touching yourself.
I'm going off the suck right there.
Exactly. That's what I think right here. That's what I think. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna keep you up to date on this situation right now. Fourth quarter, 9:57. I'm not able to watch the game, but I'm watching it here online. I guess the Rams have the ball. They're down 24-17. So again, you want the Rams to tie this game, want them to win this game. So Atlanta has nothing to say about what happens on Saturday afternoon at 4:30. All right, let's go out to Pat Williams. Panthers game's not going to matter. Mike D. Roche's there. Oh, Canada. Todd Bowles, a dead man walking. Nissan Taylor, thank you very much for coming out to Tampa Joe's a couple weeks ago. Appreciate the support. Reddick could have been a good get. Agree with you on that.
And if he's a 5 to 8, let alone a Shaq Barrett who's 19 and a half, right? But if he's a 5 to an 8 and a solid player on his defensive line, take away the broken clavicle in Detroit from Mike Evans, who that's when the entire season really went into the bowl. But the fact that Hassan Reddick, if he could be that guy under pressure, then it covers a lot of the warts with the young linebackers and the secondary. But the fact that he was a loss is probably Jason Light's biggest mistake of the season. Let's call that what that was.
And listen, when you're thinking about it, 59, sacks coming into it, he's been able to do it in his career. He had a bad game or had a bad season with the Jets. You're thinking, you know what? It's an anomaly at this point. It's a mirage. But he has been what he was last year with the Jets. It has not been good. Injuries, lack of players in skill position, pass rush, yes, but all aspects of this team have been bad, gotten worse. Defense, offense, special teams, game plan, all been terrible. Coaching, don't care about all the excuses. We can't stop rookie quarterbacks, second team quarterbacks, bad offenses, no excuses. Team has no direction. It is coaching. Nick, tell me how you really feel. Alex Dunster, season is over, guys. Dave, question for Big Game James. Do you think the OC knows what he's doing and how to use all the pieces on offense? And to get a chance to see that, Dave, we'll have to ask that question again some other time. I'll give you
a scenario. I'd like to know if Liam Cohen faced this exact season. And I know there's a difference between Josh Grizzard, third down OC, and quarterback guy, and Liam. But if Liam faced this, if he played this exact hand, there's a chance he's not currently like the hottest coach in the AFC in like 3 decades, coaching Trevor Lawrence to what looks to be a promising. So, and I'm glad not a lot of people have said, well, the Bucs should have fired him, fired Lovey and kept Dirk Cotter for Jameis's development. Remember, this team, the one thing the Glazers have shown is that they're willing to think to act spontaneously, but in the long run, they're going to play the long game and respectfully make what's the best decision for your Buccaneers. So.
All right. Update right now as I'm watching it online. It looks like, again, the Rams have the ball, and they have it right now at 4th and 2 at the Atlanta 27, 9:13 left. Matt Stafford intercepted. So there you go. That's not necessarily good, but Atlanta committed a 15-yard penalty. But it looks like, once again, the Rams turned over the ball.
That's a script.
And
that's you just read. And who shot JR? He falls down. And is it Bobby? Is it Sue Ellen? Is it what? I mean, you literally just read a script to me because it was 4th down. It was 2. They went 15, personal foul. I'm like, the NFL just keeps running them up. And somewhere Stone Cold Steve Austin's going, man, why didn't I think of that?
All right, let's see here. Let's go out to Realtor David Zuzman. I'd only be upset at Bulls if our personnel kept improving as our level of play kept failing or falling, but clearly Lights roster holes, bad drafts, and inaction in free agency finally became unbearable. Let's see here. 14-0 Falcons. Bulls did the same with the Jets. Drew, we need to play more aggressive. Dave, nope, offensive PI. Bucs need a younger staff. Keep pounding. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. You don't watch Lightning hockey, but with a comment on a football game not involving the Bucs, that's why I'm cynical. I do watch Lightning hockey. I've watched them. Just because I don't talk about them on this show, I'm sorry. Again, there's plenty of shows out. Oh, wait, there isn't plenty of shows out there right now.
Oh, I see what you did there.
I get some. Thank you. Baker in the post-game interview was like, yeah, this is where we like it. Laugh out loud. Again, score updates. Appreciate the score updates early. Baker is effing clueless, dude. Let's go out to King Cook. I don't even care about the Falcons game tonight. Put this team out of its misery tonight. Laugh out loud. Baker sucks. The Bucs are psychologically shook. I think they will blow the ship up after next week. Pardon the pun. Again, yeah, everybody's saying blow it up, blow it up, blow it up. I don't understand. Like, if you fire Todd Bowles, you're not going to get rid of Jason Light. You have to have that continuity there. If you try to blow this whole thing up and fire everybody and get rid of all the players, again, sit back, put your seatbelt. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a lot of losing Bucs football, and I don't want to hear a damn thing from some Bucs fans.
Well, Pete, let's do this because remember, I've made this point so many times. You and I are the guys that literally, and it was because of you. You called me that morning that Jason Light, they announced after we'd signed Arians 3 months before. It was a cold December morning, January maybe, and they announced that they had given Jason Light the 5-year extension to match Bruce Arians' contract, and that was part of the deal. And you called me and said we got to go live, and I'm like, why? You said because we got to explain to people why this is important for this team, not just because Arians doesn't come here if he's not here, but because he's a good GM. And what's Jason Light's done? You want to go back 3 years? We were supposed to have that huge for having 2 years of cap space in 1 year. We were supposed to do the Tom Brady hangover year, but we looked into Baker, so he figured out a way to keep Levante. He signed Mike to an extension because he realized you keep those dogs in the locker room to have a shot. And we've been there. We've been like right there for 3 years. Now it's starting to chinks in the armor are starting to show, but I'm not going to blame Jason Light for trying because I'm smart enough as a football fan and an analyst of the game to realize that's what he did, and it didn't work out. But we take it game by game. And I hope you see it that way too. I think that's the way we.
No, I think you take it game by game, and that's the way the league is at the end of the day. I mean, Matt Stafford's not playing well tonight. Does that mean you bench him? Does that mean he's a terrible quarterback? No, it means it's a bad game. It's a good game plan by the Atlanta Falcons. And the Rams, if they're a good enough team or a great team, they'll make the necessary adjustments. But every team has one. And then you're looking into Baker. They evaluated him. They took a chance on him. He led Cleveland to their first playoff win in a long time. He was hurt. I don't think they lucked into him. They knew what he could bring and how he would fit into this organization. So
if Stafford's not in LA, there's no way. If Stafford's not there under contract, especially the way that him and McVay did the whole Brett Martinez in Cancun, I mean, there's no way. Baker Mayfield's a Ram right now, and the Bucs are. We got Kyle Trask. We're 1-14, and we're looking at draft number 1 overall. But it's coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yep. Sharif White says season is over. Carl says Falcons are rolling. I'm out. This season is a bust. That's why I said my confidence is a 2 out of 10. I called it. Did I not? King Cook, it's because there's no discipline going on in Bulls, letting his guys get away with everything. Laugh out loud. I hope that the Falcons, us tonight, no more waiting. Laugh out loud. Go Bucs. Go Bucs.
Fire the cannon!
According to multiple reports around the league, Todd Bowles' job is not at risk. We'll see. Atlanta has nothing to play for but the worst draft pick, and they're still playing harder for their coach than the Bucs are. That's what makes me believe that Todd has lost the locker room. Pat says, even if we win, we have to wait on the sorry-ass Saints to help us out. Laugh out loud. As everyone else mentioned, Falcons and Raheem will make that game unimportant. Let's go out to Scott. The second half of the season reminds me of 1986. Damn. I'm in the documentary that you are. Brains in other sports news, NASCAR, Denny Hamlin, his father died in a house fire, mother injured. Thank you for the sports update. Stafford being the Lions quarterback again. Russ says next season will be the same crap. I predict about 7 wins. All right, Russ. Well, your prediction this year was not right because they have 7 wins, but okay. Next year will be the same as this year. You guys don't understand math. 7 wins to 6 wins, different. Talking real Bucs history tonight, absolutely. Russ says, I went to Gabe's when Ray Perkins was head coach every year, 2-14 or 3-13. Now that was some bad Bucs football. Bulls here next year. Let's get used to it. Rust says, get Crosby, defensive end from Vegas. We'll see.
No, Peter. If Todd Bowles says, or if Jason Light says, look, we're going to put the season to bed. Whatever happens, we'll figure it out. But if they said we're getting Cosby next year, but you can't announce that. But if you knew you're going to get Cosby and still run this defense and have a chance to get a linebacker, maybe draft someone, and also address that O-line, I think I'd want Todd Bowles if I got Cosby, if I've got that impact maker at defensive or outside linebacker end, or maybe it is a defensive end because we got a new coach and it's a 4-3 we're running, not a 3-4. But I mean, I would like to see that. I'd pay to see that.
You're going to have to give up multiple first-round picks. I don't know if Jason Light's going to do it, but they definitely need an edge rusher. Trey Hendrickson's out there in free agency. He's a local Florida guy. That may be somebody that you look at. Yeah. Says Rick, I would mention that the Buccaneers-Panther game may be irrelevant if the Falcons went out. We're eliminated no matter what happens on Saturday. That is correct. Who do
the Falcons play? Who do the Falcons play in Week 18?
The Saints. There you go.
right?
I believe. Is it in New Orleans? Check that. That's one of the main problems with the defense.
I'll check it.
Outside and inside, they can't do what Bowles wants. Why can't Bowles scheme better with the players he has? Dave says, how many times did you see James Harrison when he played a 3-4, 40 yards down the field in coverage? Cole, CSB brother, appreciate you commenting here, hanging out on vacation with the family in Wisconsin, but taking the time to listen to James Cannida interview. It's nothing but pure gold. Appreciate you as always. Russ says, Rams in the third quarter now. Trevor, it's only the third quarter in the Rams game. Rams will win this game. Russ says, making boneheaded throws. Duval, okay.
Duval.
It's so horrible. Probably drinking a couple beers at halftime. The way they played. Mike D. Roche's, I watched a full game in Lambeau on the sidelines. Very good. Russ says dogs win it all. Jim Melvin, the irony is the Bucs missed the playoffs not on the field, but on a lone Monday night game where the Falcons kicked the Rams' asses on the way to an 8-9. That wins the Bucs either way. Russ says Air Noland hit the portal and could go to Miami. Don't know who that is. Jim Melvin's a Bucs life. Realtor David Zuzman, Falcons defense is legit. We'll see. 24-10. Thank you. Magic just lost, shaking my effing head. Peter, listen, the Rams have got to win this. What is going on with these games this year? Listen, Bella, it's, again, not for long, week-by-week league. What's the update on the score right now? Rams have the ball at their own 49, 4 minutes to go, so they have an opportunity to tie this game up. Godwin interview today basically said the OC has to know when to use the right players for the right plays. That was on the Buck Table interview. And also here, according to Joe Bucs fan, that Godwin and Mike Evans had a players-only meeting at the end of the game. So will anything change at this point? I think I'm just going to enjoy watching the last game of the Bucs 2025 season. This Saturday, the implosion is in full effect. Back to a typical Bucs season. Let's win the draft. Go Bucs. Go Bucs.
Fire the cannon!
Virgin Boy says Ram just blocked the field goal return for a touchdown. There you go. Blocked field goal. Jared Verse, Florida State's own. Interception by the Rams. Scott says Rams score again. There you go. Virgin Boys, it's not an interception. It was a blocked field goal. Dave, Verse with the touchdown. There you go. Rams just blocked the punt. Scored 24-16 now. It was a field goal. They didn't block a punt. They blocked a field goal. Are you people slow? Yes, 24-17, 37-yard field goal attempt. Interceptor ran back. Let's do it for the Buccaneers. Van House Life. It's Todd Bowles looking for a new job yet? No, sorry. Is Stafford and all his starters playing? Looks like they are. You don't intercept a field goal. You block a field goal. Bella says Todd already knows he's going. I believe he sure is acting like it's even. When he's answering reporters, it just seems even more dead than usual. Van House Life. Unfortunately, I don't see the Bucs winning next week. There's just no energy. Carolina wants it more than we do. Van House Life. Yeah, Todd knows he's cooked this year, and the players don't really look like they're interested in helping him fight for his job. As we're getting ready to wrap this up, can we get the Greek as a head coach next season? No. Bella says, yeah, it's like he doesn't even care. It's the most bizarre thing you can imagine. Like he has no fire at all for this team. He's talking about why they don't want to play for him. I mean, come on. Van House Life, Ray Kennedy is OC. Van House Life Peter has Baker Mayfield's water boy, and this is what you get for that.
That's good enough to suck right there.
Hey, Pete and Ray, good evening to you, Mr. Tribal Troll.
Acknowledge me.
Bell says Sean McVay about to take this one for Baker. King Cook, Bulls sounded defeated. Even the Falcons fumble this game away. We are not beating the Kitty Cats. We suck, and Baker sucks. Megan says, hey, Ray, sorry, I'm late. I think the NFL plot twist, OFC. Megan says, hey, Ray, sorry, I'm late. Peter, hell of a block for 6 by the Rams, but my confidence is low on our Bucs for Saturday. You know I'm right. Hope is all well, Peter. Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in, as always. It's over for Todd. Megan says, did we discuss why Tristan and Bucky were fighting? Again, frustration, just leaking out at this point, right? It's frustration all over this team right now. Bucky was pissed. No O-line assist. Ray knows. Rams getting the ball back. LFG. Megan, that makes sense. Van House Live. Plot twist. Todd Bowles is betting against the Bucs each week in Vegas and throwing the games intentionally. wanted to call, get Ray's info, shaking my effing head. I like to have him on my platform sometime. Ask him. Bears or champions. Absolutely. Congratulations. Happy New Year, fellas. May 2026 bring us all success, and Bucs fans love that. Absolutely. Come on, Falcons. Put this team out of their misery. Laugh out loud. Be safe on New Year's. Don't drink and drive, PB. Uber. I got Uber. I'll be doing Uber. So you guys be safe. I can't imagine if Crab Legs was still there. Thank the Lord for TB12. Yeah, that's not. You're not winning a Super Bowl with Jameis Winston. I'm sorry. It's not over till it's over. Let's go Bucs. Never jump ship. Never jump ship. Win or lose, I'm a Buck. Regardless for the rest of my life. Love it, my friend. Paris says, TB12 took us to the top, taught us winning ways. Yaya sucks, says King Cook. Rams moving, I think he said. Really, Ray, touching yourself, shaking my effing head. Fact, it is so arrogant, he thinks he can go back to his old ways and win, and clearly we can't. Laugh out loud. King Cook, shoulda, coulda, woulda means nothing and doesn't help get wins. Bad words. Dave, a pick 6 by the Falcons. What is the score? It is tied up officially. 24-all. The Atlanta Falcons are doing Atlanta Falcons things. I
have it on here now too, but if you want to stay on for now,
they will stay on for as long.
We've got 24-24, 2:46 left in the fourth quarter. The Falcons have the ball 1st and 10 from their own 35.
All right, there you go. So there's the update. The Rams tied the game up, so it's now 24-all in the fourth quarter. Pick 6 by the Falcons. 4th and 2 interception right there. Let's go out to Bucs Basement. Bucs Basement, we heard your frustration yesterday. Have you calmed down? Welcome to the Evolution with yours truly, along with Best of the Base, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy.
Nah, this is just a comedy. Honestly, I was rooting for the Falcons, and I'm like, can you imagine if the season ends and everybody's 8-9? That would just be embarrassing. And I honestly, let me tell you something. I truly think that the NFL committee might have a case on this whole. Does this division deserve a playoff spot? Like next year, they might be like, let's change the seeding, because does the NFC South truly deserve a home playoff game? No.
Yes, they do. I mean, it's been like that before. Just because you don't like the division and the division is weak, that's how it's been. So you can't
but he raised a good question though, because remember last year the narrative was should every divisional winner be guaranteed a home field game, because you have 2 11-9 teams that'll be wild cards.
And it makes no sense to win a division. There's no incentive to win your division.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it makes no sense to win your division. Just don't win your division.
Bro, if I'm the NFC West, I'll be like, yo, can I change to the NFC South? Is there any way my team can
I mean, they're in a galaxy far, far away. You had the I believe the Seattle
Falcons.
Well, I was 7-9 at the time, and they beat a Saints team that had a better record in their home. The Seattle Seahawks, they got no chance to win that game, and they won the game having a 7-9 record. So again, it's about getting in, and you never know what's going to happen.
Oh, come on, man!
It is. Come on, bro. You've seen it. Come on now.
We're 1-7 since the bye.
I get it.
Team has given up on the coast.
I get it, Bucs Basement, but
truly
for the new year, can you just do me a favor? Can you give me just a positive thought?
If Bowles is fired, then I'll be positive. Then that is the franchise going
Listen,
forward.
if Todd Bowles is fired, do you change your screen name from Bucs Basement to Bucs number
apparently
1?
it's already changed. It's already changed. I didn't ask for it, but King Sorrelful, that's me on there, and I'm like, why the hell is that me? But
who is it?
I don't know. YouTube has this thing, King Sorrelful, on the thing.
That's you.
That's
wow.
You.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
For some reason, it changed. I didn't ask for them to change it.
Well,
so
I'm trying to tell you something. Thing. They don't like the Bucs Basement. No, Bucs are not going to be in the basement.
We are. Whoa. We're what?
Come on, man.
Did you see the stat from Greg Augman about how the NFC South has done?
I did.
Since we're 1-7, everybody else is like,
I did, man. I did.
Hey, let me ask you guys this though. You talk about the Bucky thing with the Mike Evans. You talk about when Levante leaves the locker room early, and you hear Coach Bowles week in and week out saying players aren't getting it. I mean, it feels to me like what's happening is the new guard, the Buckies and the Ibuka. Although Ibuka doesn't say a word except for just leads, but it seems like the older veterans are having a hard time getting the younger guys to continue to buy into the Todd Bowles system, which is what they all still want to be in.
I would.
Well,
in the Bulls for what?
Right.
He's done nothing. Look, you know how you could have fixed this team if you would have fired your effing special teams coach McGahee. I shouldn't know Thomas McGahee's name, but I do. And the reason why is because he's such shit that freaking team, that every damn game is.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. The fact that special teams coach is hanging on to his job makes me feel like Clyde Christensen in 2001. And why is he not getting? Because you're right. The special teams this year, But here's the thing, though, as to getting guys to buy into being a hand grenade on a kickoff or a punt, because that takes all heart to go through a wall. Is that also part of because who's the guys you put on special teams to go through that wall? Your young guys. Is that also part of the guys that not buying into Coach Bowles? And does that not continue to spell the writing on the wall? Is maybe you have to get a new coach for this team to get everyone on board.
Absolutely. He said, dude, it's over. It's the same voice, his drony ass voice that says, "Oh, we got to coach it better, we got to play it better." Shit, if I'm a team member, I'm tiring his ass out too. I'm telling you. And the worst part is, if they keep him, this team will be worse next year. Because every person on that team will know, oh, this dude's on the hot seat going into week 1, so I don't gotta listen to him at all.
This team will be worse. This team would be worse next year if the players aren't buying into it. Because I still would say, still not knowing if you bring in a Urban Meyer because he's an offensive-minded coach, but he's chasing skirts in week 5 because Trevor's not coming through. I'm just saying, you dance with the one who you know. But I'm saying is that if the players aren't buying into Bowles, you're right. They're worse next year if they don't change coaches. But really, the only person in the entire world, let alone Tampa Bay, who's been in a better position to make that call would be Mr. Jason Light. So, I mean, we always say in Light we trust, right? Do we not all agree at least whenever Jason Light's calling?
And the Glazers are going to make this decision. Bucs basement, appreciate the call. Happy New Year, my friend, okay?
Happy New Year, man.
All right, New Year's resolution. Please be more positive. Some of you Bucs fans are killing me here. All right, nope, not a pick six. Step out of bounds. Mike D. Roche's. If Falcons win, the Bucs game on Saturday means nothing. That's not
Falcons 1st and 10. There's 36 seconds left. They're still on their side, but they're pushing midfield. So they're like 2 passes away from and I like how they said tonight the Falcons are on their 3rd kicker and the Rams are on their 2nd kicker, because Matt Gay was the Rams kicker like a minute ago, and then we ran Coup out of town week 1 of this season. So it's funny that this is going to come down possibly.
And they're at the LA 35 right now, so it looks like they're in field goal range. We'll keep you up to date on it. Brightside Broadway, give me something brightside here, my friend. Welcome to the Evolution.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Yes, sir. There you go. Merry Christmas to you and Happy New Year to you.
Let me give you a positive.
Okay.
It could be 1970.
It could be what?
It could be 1970 all over again.
Well, it could be 1976 and 77. Yes. So you go 0-26. I agree with you on that. But again, this team has lots of talent, so they should be playing a lot better than what they are. I agree with a lot of Bucs fans on that. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree. We could be playing better. Agree. We've got to, I've said before, we've got to make some changes. But I'm going to say this one final time in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to completely fire everybody.
Okay.
It'll be 5 to 10 years to rebuild.
Well, yeah, it'll be a while for you to rebuild. You're absolutely correct about that. That's what people are not considering. I get it. Everyone wants to blow it up and fire everybody and get rid of everybody and start from scratch. But what they don't understand is that can be a lengthy process. I say retool. Maybe if you want to change coaches, you change coaches. You keep the general manager in effect, and you go from there. But I'm not ready to clean house and fire everybody because you're going to have a rebuild. It's going to take 3 or 4 years. It's not going to turn around.
And let's not forget, Jason Light.
It, man.
Oh, Scott. Good. Hey, Scott, Happy New Year. I'll talk to you soon, brother. But, Pete, let's not forget, Jason Light, the hand he was served was Bruce Arians said, I'm stepping aside, and I just got you a Lombardi. And the defensive coordinator who ran a defense that got you a Lombardi. And Jason Light still built a team over the last 3 seasons that has still been right there. So, yeah, we don't rebuild, reload, but look for Jason Light to go get a coach who's going to give him everything they're looking for. But also, he's not going to, trust me, Bill Parcells is not on a runway waiting for a call to turn down Culverhouse for the 4th time. I don't think you want I don't want a Nick Saban, or I don't want a Bill Belichick. I don't want a guy that's going to come in here and just blow everything up because he wants to show the world he can do it all. I still like what Jason Light's doing. Let's just find maybe the next leader to lead this team.
All right, what's the update on the game right now? Because it looks like the Falcons
are ready to go for a field goal here. It's 25 seconds. They got Stafford warming up again. I guess he's figuring with 25 seconds. But I mean, it's still
how many timeouts do the Rams have at this point?
The Rams actually, the Falcons have 3. The Rams have used all 3. So this is it. It's actually it's 4th and 8 right now. So here you go. The Falcons are going to go for a field goal right now.
All right.
Coming in right now is your who's this guy? I forget his name, but they said he's the 3rd kicker they've had this year. Of course, after the Bucs get again, the Bucs don't even win week 1. If
how far is the field goal at this point?
It's a 42-yarder. He's on a 35, so I'm going 42. Of course, it's indoors there in Atlanta. Too bad it's not in LA because it'd still be more Falcons fans, but at least there's always that funny thing. And
yeah,
here goes.
Well, here goes.
Here goes. Snap is down. No ice. Looks like the Bucs may not even be relevant come Saturday night, but that just means they've won. Well, there's 21 seconds left, and the Falcons are up 27-24. So we'll see.
All right, there you go.
We said live till the end. Pete, do your comments. And
I love my Bucs, but I hate that they are making me watch other teams for games outcomes when they should have had this division locked up. Roger Shue uses win tag team Usos win the tag team championships is the problem with the fans here. No one gives scoring updates on the Lightning yesterday. We weren't live yesterday. We were live yesterday doing a post game show. You know what? I'm just you can't please this guy. You guys have the best podcast. Thank you very much, Bella. Appreciate you as always. Light has only hired one head coach, Legions, right there, Mr. Andrew Davis. Ray, when's the next time you are in Tampa? Crosby, not Cosby. Yep, that would be different. We don't want Bill Cosby. You want Max Crosby. We definitely have to go save Mad Max from Las Vegas. Just make it happen. 2 giant goop balls. Only one likes the Jello pudding with the mystery flavor that we'll definitely forget about. Jason was saddled with Lovey. Then when he got to actually bring in a head coach, BA retires, strong arms Bulls to be the head coach. Let Jason stay to bring a new head coach. If he could have picked the next head coach, I bet it would have brought in Vabril, I believe that is.
Well, and make no mistake, the fact that Jason Light jumps off of Lovey to go with Cotter, and I wanted to go at the time. I still say we keep Lovey Smith because, I mean, it's Lovey Smith. But he did that because it showed that as a general manager, he's willing to go with what he feels at the time is the best call. And I think that my last comment tonight as we get out of the show, but I'm going to stay till the end. I want to hear the comments, but my last call is that probably that best decision that is to be made is probably that Todd Bowles is not going to be your Buccaneer coach in 2026. But, let's see how this thing plays out, because right now this team, it's not just so much you're playing for Bowles' job, but the only way Bowles has a job here as a head coach, I think, is if for some reason we beat the Panthers and the Saints lose to the Falcons, or beat vice versa.
We'll see. Crosby's not going anywhere. I mean, what's the update right now? Because I know the Rams got the ball back. 16 seconds.
16 seconds. You're right with me, yeah. But Stafford, I think he's... Wait a minute. They're at midfield.
Wow, there you go. Midfield. Did they dunk the ball there? 16 seconds left. They were at midfield at this point.
If he'd have got that, the pass was right there, but the guy didn't see it to the last second. No, it's still the Rams on their own 41. There's 16 seconds left. That was the pass right there. God, the Rams have no timeouts. So if they get a completion here, they can maybe clock it, and there's a flag. Go, read some more comments. I'll let you know. Yeah.
Let's see here. But the reason why we're updating the game here, Josue, is because there are playoff implications that affect the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's big.
Football gods really hate us. They'll have a great sense of humor. Touchdown, yes. It really does seem like the team is playing 4D chess, getting rid of Bulls. Bella Bell, all the game is tied. Come on, Rams, let's go. Touchdown, Rams. Yes, giving us the update. Appreciate that, guys. Rams tied the game there. Yes, also comical that Bowles was called out on the atrocious special teams. Still did nothing. I'm telling you all, Bowles knows it's over for him and the staff. Did you guys see Warren Sapp basically say Larry Foote is teaching nothing to these edge rushers? Yikes.
Ouch,
crazy
that hurts.
All game. Falcons, yes. People giving the finger right there.
Looking for a flag. There's no flag. Wow. So it's 8 seconds left. He threw it down the field. The guy was well covered, but so it's 3rd and 10. They got 8 seconds. You see what happens there. If they go like mid-level 15-yarder, and if they had the Dallas kicker, maybe, but probably over. Sorry.
Do it for Tampa Bay, says LA Bella Bell. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. The incentive to win a division is there because without, you don't get into the playoffs at 8-9. Correct. What about when the Bucs got through by the Cardinals with losing record, and Josh Freeman led Bucs didn't make the playoffs with a 10-7 record? I think it was 10-6 at the time.
And even though at the time it hurt, well, the Bucs.
Yes.
Well, and like you saw in the raise the flags in 07 or was it 08? We missed the playoffs at 11-4 or 5, or was it 10-6 or?
10-6.
But I mean. So it happens, but at the time, I still remember I didn't think all of a sudden we should change the rules because my team deserves to be there. It's how it is, and I think that no matter how the season plays out, we wanted to win Lombardi every year for 50 years, but remember, it's kind of how it plays out, and sometimes we just have to go, okay, that's how 2025 played out. Now let's get ready for 2026, but don't let this get you aggravated or end your year on a bad note because it's still so exciting moving forward.
Yep, Ibuka seems like the class you wanted, the new guard. Absolutely. We fired your special teams coach. You did. The players are not linked together right now. They're definitely separated. They don't even sit next to each other in the same way. If you haven't noticed,
That's what JPP was. JPP was a notch to maybe get to tie in the old with the new, and we saw with him when he did it back in 19. So, I mean, it didn't work. It's good to have him here, though. But, yeah, that's what he was.
All right. What's wrong with Paulo? Seriously, we had 23 tonight, missed the 3.
Dude, they just gave Puka Nacua. They give him the catch, and he's out literally 1 yard outside the field goal range, but they're going to review this. They're going to have to.
Where's the paper boy Van House life? It already needs to be rebuilt. Laugh out loud. What's there to save from the last half of this year? What do you mean? You've got offensive weapons. You have defensive players on this team. What are you talking about?
Odell Beckham one-handed it and got both toes down. They're going to give the Rams a shot at a field goal. It's 1 yard outside of whatever the guy's range is. This is crazy. Wait till you see the review here, Pete. In fact, take a second to watch this. Odell Beckham one-handed it.
I don't have the TV in here, so you're going to have to give me the update. You're going to have to give me the play-by-play. People are saying the reason they don't think that Todd has lost the locker room is because the players aren't saying anything about him. Well, how many of the players said anything about Devin White when he was here outside of David? Good point.
Even Devin White didn't run his mouth because even Devin White knew there were 52 in the locker room that would call him out on his crap. So I mean that
to a point, Bowles was too. He was too loyal to his players. He's been that way. He's been too loyal to his coaches. To a fault, maybe. Evans needs to retire. Baker needs to be traded. He's the same guy everywhere else. We need to draft better, sign defense again. Yeah, I mean, let Evans retire, trade Baker Mayfield, start with a rookie quarterback, and rinse and repeat. And Van House Life will be here next year saying how the Bucs think again.
One thing I realized, a lot of our younger fans and guys and girls that are out here watching that are younger than Peter and I, and I'm old as hell, and Peter's just slightly old as hell. Don't forget, we had to go through the fact that I was body surfing at Typhoon Lagoon with Warren Sapp the week we traded him to the Raiders. Him and his daughter, his last hurrah here before he went out there was to take her to Orlando. Coincidentally, I was there with my wife and daughter. I body surfed with him. We also had to pretty much tell Derek Brooks, hey, you're the best of all time, but we're not going to want you this year. And DB had to come to a decision. Do I go somewhere else? And there were 20 teams that would take him just based on name. And he went, I'm going to retire. And it wasn't. So you got to realize we've been through this before. So trust me, it's going to be hard to get through this if we don't make these playoffs, but we've been through this before. Stick with us, and Peter and I will help you get through this movie.
We'll help you get through it. What's the update on it right now? Are they going for the field goal?
It looks like, let me make sure. No, 4th and 18. They actually must have went and reviewed it. Even though, like I said, Odell Beckham did, but it didn't. They must have said that. I guess initially they called it a knock it not catch, so there wasn't enough to overrule it. But here you go, last play of the game. 4th. Oh, it's a running clock. Ooh, this is weird. But anyway, yeah, there's still 4 seconds left. Not yet, but it will be in a second. The funny thing was that on my little, I talked to everyone. I was your warm up tonight. I was speculating that in a perfect world, if the Falcons lost embarrassingly and we fire Bowles, I would take Raheem as a coach, only because I know what he learned with McVay for a decade, and I know he's been OC. He was a receivers coach under McVay, and now he's a. but I'm pretty sure after tonight's game, if nothing else, he'll hold on to his job as head coach of your Atlanta Falcons. And I think Bucs fans need to look at something like that being a problem for the next half decade.
All right. Does anyone know what Cam Johnson gives us? I mean, he's supposed to give you some special teams. Field goal was missed. I tried to manifest it. It didn't happen. Atlanta is winning. Yes, Dave. Falcons and Rams screwed the Bucs again. What's new? Yes, Atlanta is winning by 3, 21 seconds left. Man, Peter, no truer words. I love my Bucs, but I hate when they make me watch other teams. Felt that. Ray, when's the next time you're in Tampa? And that's it.
It's
the
over,
Falcons
yeah.
win?
Yeah, it's over.
So there you go. Falcons beat the
win.
Rams. So even if no matter who wins on Saturday, you've got to hope for the Saints to beat the Falcons, because if not, if the Falcons win, they win out, then the Carolina Panthers would win the tiebreaker. There you go. Thank you. Put the Bucs team to bed. They don't deserve a playoff spot for real. Peter, you missed my point again. I don't know what your point is. Your point is always the same thing. It's like a broken record at this point, Josue. You're just like some of the Bucs fans. They want Todd Bowles fired. You say it over and over again. You want me to talk more than about the Bucs, and I continue to tell you that we do talk more than the Bucs. But when we're talking Bucs on this show, that's what we're going to talk about. It's not about what you want to talk about. It's what the fans want to talk about.
It's not. Yeah, we're not deciding because we talk about all this in our chat.
It's not Josue's show. I mean,
Day.
you can have your own show. You can talk about baseball until you're blue in the face. And if one person or two people watch it and you're happy with that, fine. Right now, we got 80 people watching. Damn, this definitely felt scripted at this point. King Cook, Bucs don't deserve a playoff berth. There's no script to the collapse by our team. 07, you got in. We beat y'all our way to the Super Bowl, correct? It's time to get the old heads out of here. Mike, Vita, Godwin, Levante, time to move on. I mean, Mike can still play at a high level. Vita can still play. Godwin can. Levante, maybe. He'll move.
As a GM, though, you got to go because what I've said all along is you've got the 53 in the locker room have to know that coach and GM have their back. That's how you get them to go that extra mile, which is a lot of the reason why the Bucs have been losing these close games this year. The reason why the Dolphins serve at home and the Saints come in and win their Super Bowl, because they're getting that extra hard play. So why are we not getting that extra hard play? From our players in there, and then whatever that is, that's the problem that needs to be addressed this offseason. And if it does go all the way to the top, because Jason Light brought in, instead of bringing in team first people, he brought in me first people, and that's the deal. Then the Glazers, Brian and Joel and Darcy Glazer, they'll figure that out. So, but I'm going to enjoy this week, though. It's week 18. There's a lot of stuff still going on, and as college football playoffs are just getting playoffs. Started. Yeah, so I'm excited.
The older guard of players and coaches, it's time to split that up. Kyle says Baker is fine. You got to get a good 3 to 5 years out of Baker. The roster isn't that bad of shape. It's done. The Falcons won. They did. So does that mean the Buccaneers are out? They're not out. They have to win their game on Saturday to take care of their business. And then you got to hope for the Falcons to beat, you got to hope for the Saints to beat the Falcons.
But then, like you said, though, even if we beat the Panthers, if the Falcons beat the Saints because of strength of schedule and divisional records, then the Panthers will get that NFC South title, and the Bucs will be home the first weekend. So to me, it seems poetic. A team that's ridden a wave. We've had a great team. We had the GOAT. We got a Lombardi, and we're still there. We've got to luck in at this year. If somehow we do, then let's go. If not, then you know what? The NFC South title was finally wrested away. It took a 7-way tie to do it, and let's get ready for 26.
There you go. Do you really think the Saints can beat the Falcons? I think anything is possible. Let's hope.
The game's in Atlanta.
Game's in Atlanta, so it'll be tough. Sad to say, I think it's over. From what I'm hearing, players in New Orleans already have their bags packed for vacation. Nobody's going to want to spend the offseason to rehab for a losing season. Melvin says, well, this is going to be ugly. And King Cook, we are not beating the Kitty Cats. Y'all seeing the same team I'm seeing since that bye. Laugh out loud. Stop. All right, we will stop. Final thoughts here, Tampa Bay. Ray Kennedy, best of the Bay, my friend.
I'll keep it simple. I mean, do the players in New Orleans, do they like Kellen Moore as a head coach? And, they've packed it in. I think half the Buccaneers have had their golf clubs in the trunk, and I don't blame them. It's hard to stay on top every year. Your seasons are longer, your off seasons are shorter, and, sometimes the writing's on the wall. I still want to see this Bucs team do good this weekend, but I'm also preparing for the fact that if that doesn't occur, there are a lot of changes that have to be made. But, it's part of being a fan every year to year. Even those of us that cover the team a little more in depth than maybe you do, we're no smarter than you are, and we don't know anything you guys don't. So let's enjoy this weekend, and if it works out that we're there, a wild card weekend, great. And if we're not, then I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to watch any NFL football because these college football playoffs are solid. Hockey's getting playoffs. I still want to know who the quarterback for Jeff Hartline's going to be next year for your USF Bulls. And the Rays are getting ready to come back across the street, brother. Thanks for having me tonight, and let's go. And I'll be tuning in for sure on Saturday for the pregame from Tampa Joe's.
Well, not from Tampa Joe's, from the tailgate, because they're home. So we'll be live from the Bucs tailgate, and then we'll be live at the end of the game. Let's go out to this guy right here. Let's go out to Sun Devil Dave. How do we start up this show, my friend?
Thank you for wasting my time, and goodbye forever.
Yes, that's it. There you go. And the Falcons wasted our time.
One last thing, or a new thing. If you don't know, now you know. Chicago. That's a new little mantra for playoff game.
Well, there you go. There you go.
You like that?
Yeah.
I just got done watching Monday Night Football here in the Valley. So what happens now? So technically, the Falcons could knock out the Bucs. Is this the way it works?
Yes, that's true. I mean, what you needed at this point is you needed the Falcons to win the game, or you needed the Falcons to lose the game tonight, because if they win out, even if the Bucs do beat the Panthers would win the NFC South. There you go.
But wait, hey, don't forget the sweetest part here. That means that the Falcons would leapfrog us. The Bucs would finish with a third place schedule for 2026, and we'd also jump ahead of them for their draft position. So even though I still want to be there, it's like if that's the way it happens, that helps the team too.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree. And now another thing I like to add, and I put this in the comments last week, but if we fire Bowles, that means that Campbell needs to be fired, Harbaugh needs to be fired.
The
Packers, Leffler needs to be fired for the Packers if they don't go anywhere.
Can I?
To go to Super Bowl.
Sure, go for it, Ray. Go
Let's
ahead.
Go Andy Reid too. What about Andy Reid? He needs to be fired too.
Sun Devil Dave, let me back you up on this, because I have a friend. I'm gonna name him Brandon Sherman. He's a great guy. He's his wife and him, between him and his wife, they've been in or at Detroit when they beat us in the playoffs, and then when we beat them 2 years before that. And even he said today, we were talking, and I had to ask him twice when he said this, because I'm like, are you off-putting or are you serious? He said that if you fired Bowles, they would trade Dan Campbell for Todd Bowles straight up. And I'm like, it's not just because Campbell's a tight end coach and he's a rah-rah guy, but he realizes the Lions, after missing the playoffs this year with an improving Bears team and the Packers and whatever, it's a shame, because it's not because of bad coaching with, Alex, losing their OC and DC, but there's someone who roots for the Lions through and through. They're like, they're not ready to give up on Dan Campbell, but they're like, there's a chance that we would take a Todd Bowles before Dan Campbell. So before we throw out the bathwater, let's make sure we get a hold of that baby, and we want to make sure we keep them both, or do we want to get rid of one or the other?
All right, on that note, I don't even know what you just said.
I don't know either. I think I lost it.
I just think if Campbell's available, who else do you think would be a good replacement other than Campbell?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Glenn. My driver says Aaron Glenn. He's from New York, Benny. He's a man.
Eric Glenn's going to be looking to have a job at the end of this season in New York. He's safe. I'm kidding. What's Sun Devil Dave doing in New York? Are you in New York?
Well, Sun Devil Dave is not in New York. He's in Arizona now.
My buddy's from New York. He's a big Jets fan, but
yeah,
that's another story. But who's on the injury report? Who are we looking at? Are we pretty healthy for Saturday?
Well, we'll see if Kalijah Kancey plays. We'll see if Tristan Wirfs plays.
I don't count on Wirfs, Pete. Tristan was limping yesterday. I mean, I know that kid wants to get out there, but man, I'm hoping for if it's his health that's at stake here. I mean, what are we going to do if he gets to us in the first quarter and hurts himself worse? We're not going to have him for the playoffs anyway. And if we get to the next level, we're going to need that guy.
This team cannot stay healthy this year. It's just ridiculous.
It's been tough.
What was McMillan's main injury again? Was it a spleen? What was his injury before the season?
Who? Or Tristan Wirfs?
McMillan.
Oh, McMillan was a
neck injury after. Yeah, well, he went down on his neck. He bounced off his head. And I mean,
So, I know that there was some flack about that. Do you think he didn't do that tackle because he was worried about re-injuring his neck, or no?
Mm-hmm. Well, no. I mean, he didn't make the tackle. He made a business decision, and Chris Godwin got on him on the sideline there. Yeah. So.
Okay. But hey, look, we're gonna take care of business Saturday.
We'll see.
They've been fighting and fighting. I mean, all these games have been close and have been losing, but I think that they're gonna play with a lot of heart. We'll take care of business, and then we're gonna hope that the Falcons lose the Saints.
Yeah,
Sunday.
There you go, man. I love the optimism, Sun Devil Day. Appreciate you as always. Okay. All right.
Okay. If you don't know now, you know. Go Chicago.
Oh, hey, and also, how do we end off the show here, man?
Come on, Sun Devil.
Forever, man.
There you go. Good stuff there, Sun Devil Day. We'll read the rest of these comments, and then we will get out of here.
Oh, Peter. Well, at least the Falcons Saints game is at 1:00, right? It's at Atlanta, 1:00. So, I mean, there'll be a time between. I think that here's what will happen on Sunday or Saturday night. Oh, it's not Sunday. Oh, it's not till Sunday. That sucks. It's gonna suck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
let's see. The whole 53 has to be ready, willing. The coaches have to do their job. This isn't the drive-through at McDonald's. Everyone should want to do their part. Good stuff, Megan. Bella, is the NFL like some of the guru that you can read the future? How would they know how to put the Bucs game on Saturday so that even if the Bucs win, we have to go through stress until Sunday?
The script.
No idea. It's a good point. I feel like Atlanta beating the Rams means the Bucs will definitely win on Saturday. Laugh out loud. And of course, they will still lose out, just as you said. Todd Bowles has now officially lost more games than he's won as a Bucs head coach. His record is 35 and 36. He's losing record in 4 years and needs to go. Michael, again, the players love Bowles because he's basically a country club, walk through practices Monday and Tuesdays off. No real accountability, no consequences.
That's so not true. The reason why the veterans love him because he expects so much of them and they bring it every day. That's not true at all. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into the genesis of a football team, but there's no way that Coach Todd, in fact, behind closed doors at the practices that the public doesn't see, he's fire and brimstone. But I mean, if we want to play that narrative, okay, we're firing him because he's a cupcake and we want a tough as nails guy. Bring in Greg Schiano. Let's see how that plays out. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, Bucs fans forget about that. They think again it was just all Tom Brady all the time. So again, we'll see how it works out. We'll see how it plays out. Agree. Let's go out to King Cook. The team is not winning on Saturday. They can't run from this collapse, and the playoffs won't save them. Laugh out loud. King Cook, the fact we're still blaming injuries shows that this team ain't good. Only Malk and Cansey are out. Still got excuses for this team. I love the loyalty, though. Go Bucs. I mean, yeah, we're going to be loyal.
Fire the cannon!
But, I mean, you're missing Brederson. You're missing Malk. That's two of your starting guards. That's going to hurt your offensive line. You're missing Wirfs, and yes, you're missing Kalijah Cansey.
And I'm turning on every game every week, and I'm like, wait, Feeney? Who's this guy I know? Oh, he's been in the league for 9 years. He was on our practice squad. Okay, and you're going up against all-pro defensive linemen and other teams who are geared toward trying to beat you. I mean, guys, at the end of the day, plus forget Cody Malk. Oh, Cody Malk was an undrafted or shouldn't have been drafted, seventh. Cody Malk made this team because of his toughness and his heart on that O-line. So don't Ryan Jensen at center in 2021. Don't even try to or 22. Don't dismiss what one guy can mean. And they still held it together. Fire Todd Bowles, bring in someone else and have this happen year one. You're probably looking for another coach in year two.
Climatic says, wow. Climatic again. We lost control of the South. Yes, he did. Praying for a miracle now. And Bella says, listen, gentlemen, every good show has a cliffhanger. We'll see how it works out. I appreciate you tuning in as always. All right, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. Appreciate the time as always. We'll see you soon. Happy New Year, buddy. Be safe. And we'll see you in the new year on Saturday, live from What the Buck Tailgate. All right.
Also, you've been invited. January 1, we're going to have that watch party, 4 o'clock. It's the Indiana, Alabama. We're going to have a huge watch party out here. Come on, brother. You got to see a man making his dollar. But, yeah, we're going to have a huge watch party out here. So you're here. We're going to have all over the place. So join us for that, too. And thanks for having me tonight.
All right, man. Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, best of the Bay.
Mr.
All right, there you go, brother, right there. He's out of there. Absolutely. Thank you, Bell. Appreciate you. Let's go out to climactic. Yes, the Saints can beat the Falcons. They can. So we'll see what happens at the end of the day. Thanks a lot to all the guests of the night. Mr. Harry, the Greek professional handicapper extraordinaire. Big game, James Cannida, former Bucs, Colts defensive lineman, Bob Alvarez, former sports broadcaster, and, of course, best of the Bay, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Remember, if you like the content, give to the content. Facebook stars are open. YouTube super chats. And we'll keep it down because the roommates are sleeping. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the Sports Web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, it's your time. We'll see you next time on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. And as we always say on this show to end it off, go Bucs.